Is he alone? Is he at the airport? Is he on a fucking bus? Is he on the plane? Is there a clicking noise? There's probably a clicking noise. Is this a clip show? I don't know if it's a clip show. It's a fucking show. Just listen, goddammit!
Hey, what's happening? Mike Smith, 40-year-old boy podcast, coming at you live, folks, like Tesla. There's stuff wrong with that sentence right from the jump. Hold on, let's back up. Let's unpack that and go ahead and figure out what I talked about there and why it was wrong. First of all, I'm not coming at you live, because if I were coming at you live, that would mean I was in the moment talking to you right now. As I was speaking, you'd be hearing me, which would make me the god of podcasting. Seriously, if I was able to find out some way where I could have you just sit there and listen to me, well, I guess that actually is radio. I wouldn't exactly be the god of podcasting if I invented it. Folks, I just invented radio. How do you like that? Look what you're on board for. This is year 8 of this podcast, and you know what I used it for? I used it to invent fucking radio, because that's the kind of person I am. So I guess I'm not really coming at you live. I'm live. I mean, I'm me, and you're you, and we're all together in this moment. But I'm together. Well, I'm alone in this moment, and you're alone in your moment. But right now, I'm being brought together into your ears by your iPod vagina / earbuds, cock ring, watches, whatever the fuck you use to listen to the show. What if you could listen to the show on your cock ring watch? Oh my God, how amazing would that be? First of all, although I don't know. Well, I mean, it'd be muffled by your pants, right? Unless you're just walking around naked with the cock ring watch on all day and saying, hey, that's, you know what, it's Thursday. Gotta go ahead and throw on my cock ring watch and listen to Mike. And how perfect would that be? Because then I would be like Dick Tracy. And I'm a cock ring watch, but I'm Dick Tracy, and I'm like coming across on a watch, and there's a voice, and it's me, and there's a dick and a cock, and oh my God, look at what we've done with this show. I almost prefer being not live with you now, so you can't see the look on my face as I realize I just made a cock and dick reference right in the first 40 seconds of this goddamn show. The math may be off on that. I can't exactly look. I don't want to look because I don't want to fucking tell you again about how my recording is going. Thank you to all the people who wrote and said the levels are good now. I got sucked into talking about it. God damn it. All right, that's all. Thanks for you with liking levels. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But it's a good thing. The feedback seemed to be okay from people. I should tell you, I've been to Minnesota, but I've never been to me. Last week I fucked up, and I'm like, hey, dudes, why don't you guys meet me on Tuesday and Wednesday in Minnesota? And then it turned out I was leaving Wednesday night. So I don't know if I got to see any of you guys, because I'm recording this show Tuesday morning. Actually, I'm recording it Tuesday afternoon. Coming at you live like the Moody Blues, folks. That was the other thing that was wrong with that sentence. I'm not Tesla. I'm not a modern-day warrior or modern-day cowboy. I'm not Rush either. I mean, if I was Rush, I'd be a modern-day warrior. I'd have mean stride, and today's Mike Schmidt would have mean pride. However, this is Tuesday's Mike Schmidt. Listen to me. You're listening to me on Thursday. You're getting perhaps by Thursday, I will have a mean stride and mean pride. Although I'm done with that song. I think I mentioned that on here. There's some songs that you just can't listen to anymore. Tom Sawyer is one of them for me. Maybe it's one of those things that's going to catch my ear and make me go, oh, okay. I'm back on board with Rush and that song, but I can't, man. I got to say that I'm divorcing myself from the whole Rush process. That's a lie. I like a lot of Rush. I heard Analog Kid just yesterday in my earbuds and did a hop, skip, and somewhat of a jump, which was actually kind of bizarre. I was at the gym. We went to the Y yesterday, and I know you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, Mike, how far has your life fallen? But there's Jill. There's not a member at my LA Fitness, and there's no LA Fitness on the farm where she fucking lives. Literally, if you had any idea, like you want to picture where I'm at when I'm at Jill's house, picture The Walking Dead when they lived on that farm, and then they went looking for that zombie girl for like 9 fucking episodes. That's where I live. It's just me and Jill and Herschel and horses and a little zombie girl just wandering around that we can't find. We look for all the goddamn time. This fucking town is just, I mean, it is rolled up. I'm taking on some family duties here with Jill, the lovely Jill, and her son. So it was prom day on Saturday, and Jill's like, hey, can you take some photos of Kale because I'm working? And I said, yeah, I can probably do that. So she's like, yeah, you'll just take photos at the house, and don't worry, like they're taking photos elsewhere, but you just handle it. And so I was like, all right, no problem. So I figured I was just taking some photos of Kale here at the house before he went out. Oh, how wrong I was, folks. Because then Kale comes home and he's like, hey, first we're going out to take some photos at the barn. Yeah, that's right. I said it correctly. That's Wisconsin, folks. Remember I just said I was on a farm with Herschel and horses and a little zombie girl? Well, Saturday, I literally was on a farm with horses and a little zombie girl I think was there. I don't know. I tried to avoid her. Again, I couldn't find her. I didn't have 9 days to fucking look, or 9 weeks, or however the fuck long they just spent looking. God damn it. And I got to tell you this. Spoiler, I'm going to spoil something here. I was on board with Walking Dead, as you know, because I read the books and I loved them. But then I was like, nah, I can't anymore. Well, after they looked for that zombie girl for 9 months, and I was like, all right, I'll stick around. And then they wind up in that prison, and then they go with the governor, and then they wind up living in his place, and then Andrea dies. And again, spoiler alert. I apologize. And I'll be spoiling some other things a little later, too. I guess I'm going to spoil the whole goddamn thing for you guys. You're going to sit on board and go, oh, my God, I can't believe he's doing it. But I am. I'm as bad as an unplugged refrigerator this week. You know why? Spoiled. Everything's spoiling. Spoiling everything. So I was on board with Walking Dead, and then I bailed because once the governor, and then I forgot they were going to kill somebody, and then they didn't. I was pissed. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. They wound up going to the jail, and they were all going to live there. And then I told everybody I bailed. Everybody's like, oh my God, you got to get back on board. It's so good now. So all I watched this year, I didn't watch anything. I didn't watch Glenn avoid dying for the 400th time. Look, folks, I don't know if you watch The Walking Dead. If you do, you're going to understand this. If you don't, get ready to be fucking bored for even more of this podcast. Glenn is a guy who, like, in the beginning of the show, he was a guy who was crafty, and he could go get a bunch of supplies, and he could sneak into town and avoid zombies, and he was that dude. He was kind of shifty. Well, I guess as the time has gone on, he's become a pussy-whipped jackass who winds up almost dying all the time. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Again, I haven't watched it. I just know what I've heard or read on the internet. Are you familiar with the internet? You should look it up. I heard it's very popular. Also known as the World Wide Web. That's right, which seems catchy. That's a lot of alliteration, but everybody went with internet. Would you rather go with the internet, which is one word, and gets it done, or would you go with World Wide Web, because that's a lot of alliteration? You know what? I know that's an easy choice for one person in the world, Barbara Walters. She goes internet. Clearly she goes internet. So this year there was a scene where Glenn, again, the zombie ducker, whatever you want to call him, he winds up, I guess, on a dumpster with a guy, and they're avoiding zombies who can't climb. I never know the rules about zombies, and I thought I did, right? I mean, I know we know Jesus was a zombie, and then other zombies, they can run fast in some movies, and in some movies they just kind of amble about. They're shambling about. They're heading for Shambhala. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Three Dog Night is there with the zombies. The show must go on. I can tell you that about Three Dog Night. So these shambling, ambling zombies have pinned Glenn on the top of a dumpster, and he's with another dude who apparently I've never seen in the books. I don't know if he's a creation of the TV show or a manifestation of Glenn's psyche. Maybe he's his Tyler Durden. Because I got to be honest with you, if you're in a land full of zombies and shit like that, and everybody goes, hey, go get some crackers, because that's Glenn's duties all the time. Rick is the psycho. He's got the kid with the hat, who I got to admit, like I said, I haven't watched it for like years, and I turned it on. I'll tell you the part I turned on, and I saw him, and I'm like, holy fuck, what happened to Carl? Because in the book, Carl gets shot in the eye and lives, and it's that thing where you got to suspend disbelief, where you're like, all right, there's zombies walking all over the place trying to eat these dudes, and this kid gets shot in the face. All the doctors have been eaten. Every doctor on the planet has been eaten, and this kid gets shot in the face and he lives. Like somehow they're able to, I don't know, they get like a spoon and they dig out the fucking shrapnel from his head, and the bullet is like a clean pass through his eye socket, and he's not hurt at all. He's just like, oh, fuck, that sucked. I totally lost my right eye. Whatever the fuck, they better find me an eye patch. And that's my favorite thing too, by the way. They can't find food anywhere. They send Glenn out to buy fucking Cheez-Its, or what, not buy, there's no currency. Everything's done. It's a zombie land, man. And so they send him out to go get crackers and bullshit and everything else that he can find. And nobody can find any food. They're finding like tins of peaches from the 80s, and they're digging those up. But yet they find an eye patch for Carl. Like they didn't have to make like a fake one, because you would think they would have to take like a thong or something and just wrap that around his head, which they should have had to do, quite frankly. And if I'm Carl, I'm on board with that. I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking 11. I just got shot in the face. I'm never gonna get pussy. So go ahead and just wrap a thong around my face so I can pretend that I'm diving on some chick. I almost said dumpster diving, because my head said dive, then I went dumpster dive, because for some reason I put those two together, because I just had Glenn and his buddy on the dumpster, Glenn and his Durden. So Glenn and his Durden are on the dumpster. And again, like I said, it's just, there's these leaps that you have to make with the show, and that's fine. I understand it. You know, you're supposed to believe that there's these, nobody gets lice, which I told you drives me fucking crazy. Like when I see those shows, I told you the first thing that happens in a zombie apocalypse, folks, I shave my head. Because I am not getting fucking lice. Because I'll never be able to shampoo it. I'll never be able to wash my hair. So I have to be able to just go ahead and dump a bottle of water on me and scrub it up. I can't possibly have hair to fucking take care of. And on this show, everybody's got fucking hair. They got beards and fucking trimmed goatees. It's like, how the fuck are you trimming your goatee in a zombie land, motherfucker? Are you like, you know what I picture? I pictured like now it's like the fucking Flintstones. So where they take dinosaurs and they tie them up and they like bind their feet, as we talked about last week with the Chinese. And by the way, for those of you who did ask, yes, obviously I've been to Asia and I know all about those people. Our friend Tom Faust, who's a friend of the show, said, hey, can I use your podcast as credit toward my Asian studies? And I say, yes, of course you can. I say you should. And honestly, I would seal that with a gong if I had one. I would say to you, yes, absolutely. That makes sense. And I'm now bowing and then gong. There you go. So I think that's what they do is they take like little rats and they make them gnaw the hair off their face. Because, I mean, razors don't work. There's no electricity, right? Don't they have a generator? If you got a fucking generator... If you're a group of dudes in the zombie apocalypse and you're like gathering in a tent and you're, you know, first of all, you're out going to find shiny new eye patches for all the people who get shot in the face. Hey, let's get some eye patches just in case somebody takes one in the fucking eye. Give me a fucking break. So these dudes, they wind up with these manicured beards. Some of them are scrubby, but some dudes like, I mean, you don't, you know who the fucking apocalypse people would look like right now? If there was a zombie apocalypse within like fucking 6 months, and I think this one's going on now for 3 years on The Walking Dead. I think those people have been out there fucking rampaging for that long. But by that time, they would all look like the San Jose Sharks. Have you seen any of those games? Probably not. I'm sure that's a reference for one dude. Hi, Dana. That's a reference for one person, but or Jesse. Maybe Jesse was on board. But they, you know, that's what they would look like if you were in the fucking zombie apocalypse with no electricity. You're not going to shave. There's just no way you're going to. If you have a generator and there's 12 dudes and you're all sitting there, other than, like I said, finding out the eye patches for everybody, passing those out because you're all going to take one in the face. Nobody's going to go, hey, can we use some of our precious electricity so I can get fucking a Van Dyke going here in the fucking apocalypse? Because who are you going to fuck? What do you care what your face looks like at that point? But these guys are like manicuring their beards in a way where they're just thinking, are you going to find you're going to have a date? You're going to have a date? You can't even fucking shower. Dude, you can't even find all the thongs that the ladies have are being turned into crude eye patches because we know the women aren't going to find their own eye patches, but also the women are going to shoot each other in the fucking face because they're not dumb. But all these dudes are out there with their fucking manicured beards, and I'm like, I don't even understand how you would waste 1 gigawatt or gigawatt or whatever the fuck they are of electricity shaving anything. If you got a generator, save it, man. Cook me a fucking a thing of Dinty Moore. That's what I want. That's not what I want. Although I made stew this week. Oh my God, did I make a great stew. Holy fuck. Maybe that's why I said Dinty Moore, because I got stew in the brain. Although, you know, I got to be honest, this is my second run at the stew, my second, at this very same stew in the last couple of weeks. And the first time I made it, it was really savory and really good. And I don't know what the fuck it was I did to it, but whatever it was, I didn't do it the second time. Because, and here's, you know, this is me. I make stew on Saturday. You know, I got to go to the store. I'm here at the lovely Jill's house, and she works 12 hours. So what I want to do is I want to have a meal for her when she comes home. I want to have it ready for her because she's working hard. She's out there doing her business. That sounds weird, but she is. She's doing business, not her business. She's doing business because she's at work and taking care of business every day, and also taking care of business every way. So I go to make dinner, and I got to go buy, you know, stew meat and fucking vegetables. I'm not going to go through a goddamn shopping list of stew for you folks. Just go Google it. Google Food Network slow cooker beef stew recipe. You'll see exactly what I bought. I had to buy some red wine. I had to buy some caraway seeds. But this time around, I did not have to buy those things because I bought them 2 weeks ago when I made the stew the first time. So I had to make a different list. And here's the list that I made this week. Shut the fuck up. Holy God. Why are you making this shopping list talk? So I make the stew and I crank it out on Saturday, and it's like, you know, look, it's a slow cooker. All right, that does most of the fucking work. I'm going to be honest with you. But I still got to peel and chop carrots. I got to peel and chop onions. I got to take some mushrooms and chop those into 4s or quarters, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I still got to go ahead and get the meat squared away. I got to put the meat in a plastic bag. I got to shake it with paprika and onion paprika and salt and pepper. Then I got to coat it in some flour. I got to brown it so it's got a nice sear on it. I throw it into the cooker. You guys, I just said I wasn't going to walk you through the shopping list, and yet I will walk you through all the things I had to do to make the fucking stew. Idiot. I had to get some sprigs of thyme out there, folks. I had to make a savory red wine gravy. Oh, that's what I had to do with a beef broth, and I had to whisk it till it was thick. Jesus Christ, shut up. So I'm entertaining myself. Honestly, I don't care if you don't care about stew talk, but I'm all for stew talk. And you know what? Yeah, I'm the kind of guy you want to have around in a zombie apocalypse. Fucking take that, motherfucker. We might not have any like fucking real stew meat like Chuck or anything like that, but if you find me a fucking goat or a rat, I'll chop the shit out of that and throw it in the slow cooker and make it work. I'll make you a goddamn stew you won't forget during the zombie apocalypse. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, hey, motherfucker, how you get your slow cooker working during the fucking zombie apocalypse? Well, fuck you. If you hadn't used all the electricity for your goddamn manicure business, I would have fucking had a slow cooker stew for everybody in the fucking camp. Instead, you're off giving off haircuts. Fuck that. But I make this stew on Saturday, and you know I gotta go to the store. I had to go to 3 stores, man, because I went to a Piggly Wiggly, and they didn't have my potatoes that I like, so I had to go over to a different store to get a potato. Then I had to go to Bernie's Meats in Saukville and grab some stew meat. They had some samples of bratwurst. Then you know what I did? Folks, here's what I do. I pretend like I'm a guy from the neighborhood. That's what I do when I'm in Wisconsin. Back home, I don't talk to a fucking soul. Like I go to the mailbox and a guy says hi, and I literally just stare at him for 5 minutes till he gets into his apartment and closes all the shades. Like I want nothing to do with anybody. But when I'm here, you gotta fucking be Wisconsin Jones. So it's like I walk into the bratwurst joint or the fucking meat joint, and they're just like, hey, how are you? I'm like, hey, what's going on, fellas? And I got my Bears jacket on, and they're like, oh, Bears jacket. I'm like, oh, come on, you guys will come around. And then we have a talk about the weather because it's still cold in fucking May. I don't know what the fuck happened here. I don't know who stole the sun. I don't know who took the black hole sun. I don't know who did what. But somebody fucked this entire neighborhood up, and so there's no sun, there's no warmth, there's no anything for anybody. It's just fucking gray. This entire town, this fucking and Jill. It's funny. Jill came by me last week, and it was 65 degrees. Like it was 90 the first day. It had been 90 for 2 fucking weeks. And I told her, I go, you know, you just opened up your suitcase and gloom shot out of it. Fuck. And it wasn't her fault. It's not like she brings gloom with her. Gloom just snuck into her suitcase. And I don't even know how it got through TSA. I gotta be honest, they stop me from this fucking microphone every time I travel. They're like, oh, sir, here's my favorite thing. I get stopped when we were traveling the other day. We were coming back here, and this woman, they ping my fucking bag because some dick fuck can't look at my fucking, like, dude, it's a microphone, all right? At fucking worst, I'm gonna pull it out and entertain the masses on the plane. Or entertain's a strong word. Bother? That's probably the word I'd go with, bother. Nobody's getting gunned down. Nobody's gonna get getting clotheslined or anything like that. Clotheslined? Who would get clotheslined with a gun? Boy, that's a terrible hijacker. If a hijacker pulls out a gun and he starts hitting people with it, rush him. Let's roll. That's all I gotta say to you. If some dude on the fucking plane, if you're on a plane and a guy pulls out a gun and he just starts hitting people with the gun, like rather than using the trigger part, is that what they call it? The trigger part? I'm not sure. I'm not a firearms expert, which is all the more reason to not have me around for the zombie apocalypse. However, fucking stew, think about it. I could make a campfire stew. Maybe I do that because I cooked out. I've cooked here with fire. But I can make a campfire stew, right? I don't know if it'll be as tender and succulent as the stew I make in the slow cooker. Oh. But if you're on a fucking plane and a dude pulls out a gun and he starts hitting people with like a baseball bat, that's a confused hijacker. And I say, let's fucking roll. Let's put this plane down in a field and take that guy out right the fuck now. Although maybe we don't have to put the plane in the field, right? I mean, let's skip that part. Let's just tackle the guy and live. That's what I like. Yeah, you know what? That's my motto for anything. If I go to a bank, if I go to a supermarket, if I'm alone, hey, let's just tackle the guy and live. That's my plan. If anything happens during the zombie apocalypse, if anything, I'll just tackle the guy and live. I'm not going to wind up pinned up on a dumpster with me and my imaginary friend wondering how the fuck we're going to get out of there and then fake dying. Fuck Glenn. Fuck The Walking Dead. Fuck them. That's why I left. Because they're not true to their stories. And then everybody's like, because that's the thing is that show will be fucking shitty for like 8 weeks. And then a really fucking cool thing will happen. Everybody goes, yeah, Walking Dead. And they'll virtual high five all over Twitter and Facebook. And I'm just like, I remember when all that bad shit happened and you guys were like, oh man, this show sucks. But I mean, what do I know? Fuck, I'm in a kitchen in Wisconsin. I'm pretending to be a local. That's how fucking low I've fallen on the totem pole of life. I'm pretending to be a local in Wisconsin so I get a better deal on stew meat. Oh, Jesus. The fuck happened to me, man? I used to be beautiful. Not anymore. Nope. Hold on, chugging. Yeah, I'm just a guy now looking for discount stew meat. Well, not discount. No, fuck that. That's a lie. I pay for my stew meat. It's important to me, if you take anything away from this show after 8 years, it's that Mike pays for his goddamn stew meat. And I'm talking top quality stew meat. Like I said, during the zombie apocalypse, maybe I'll fucking whittle you up a rat. Maybe I'll cube a rat for you and throw him in the pot. But, right now, I can go ahead and get some chuck. I can go get a 60-40 if I want, or a 50-50, or a 70-30. Ooh. That's bullshit. I don't throw ground meat in my stew. That would be a chili process. I'd need a 60-40 for chili. or for a nice gravy, for a Sunday gravy. But I can't make it because I get agita. Agita. Hey, agita. That's Macarena. So no, I pay for my stew meat, folks. I get a good quality stew meat. But then I was wondering because again, my second run at the stew. So the first run was 2 weeks ago, and Jill, she ate a bite of it and she just looked at me and she was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Yes, exactly. It's fantastic." And then she loved me. It was cool. I was nice. I had earned some love. Because I keep thinking that I needed to keep, I'm just one step ahead of the axe with the lovely Jill. I have to keep doing good things, or I'm just going to get fucking thrown onto the side of the road. And she's going to be mad I said that, but she knows it's a joke, probably. But that's how my fucking weird brain works. I mean, I'm sure that's the way, and I, as I talked to Shannon about it, it comes from, childhood when you get, you lose a parent. And you always think that you're never going to be good enough for anybody else. And so you think you've got to do the good things and you got to do what you can to go ahead and not be chastised or shoved off. So that's what I'm trying to do. I do the dishes. I try to keep the house clean. I try to be nice to Jill all the time. She comes home from work and I'm quiet. And then I wind up hovering around her trying to do shit. We've talked about this before. Fuck. But I make the stew, and so she liked it. I'm like, all right, good. We're still together for one more day. Fantastic. But then Saturday I go out and I get some onions, I get some mushrooms, I chop them up, I throw them in there, I make a red wine gravy with a roux. I make a roux. And, I'll tell you what, if there's a zombie apocalypse in Australia, I'll chop up a roux and throw it in your stew. We'll have a roux stew. Oh, dude, let's have a rowdy dow and a roux stew and possibly a rangadang. Let's have a rang-dang diggity dangadang, baby. I want to have a rowdy dow, a roux stew, and a rang-dang diggity dangadang, baby. That's got to be the name of the show, right? Rang dang diggity dang dang baby. How do I spell that? With a lot of G's. So I make the stew on Saturday, and Jill's working. She's working like fucking 12 hours. And we're going to Minneapolis today. We're leaving here in a couple hours. But yes, that's how long I've put the show off, folks. I didn't really put it off. I mean, because yesterday I was going to record. It was Monday, but I had stuff to do. I had stuff for next week, which you'll hear about later. You know what next week is. We all know what next week is. So all right, so I got to figure, stew and then walking down. All right, let me go, I should write all this down. Fuck, this is what happens when I don't have my Lily around. Because she usually keeps track. And you know what? I got to tell you what, that's bullshit. She never keeps track anymore. Like when she comes over, because I mean, look, this show is me and Lily. That's just the way it is. I like her there and it helps me out and I can spin her on and do a bunch of crazy shit. And then she kind of has a marker and a legal pad and she writes down all the things. Dude, last week, I did the show. And then at the end of it, she's because we had to do half and half. I did the part with her, and then she had to bail, and then they had to do the rest later. And as she's getting up to leave, she looks at me, she goes, "Yeah," she goes, "I didn't write anything down, so I'm not sure what the name of the show is." And I wanted to go, what you have one fucking job. Well, you got two jobs. Laugh at my dumb shit, and then write shit down. That's it. That's all you got to do. Laugh at the dumb things that I say, and write some of them down so I have something to pull from. Because I'm terrible with the names of the show, or lazy about it, certainly. And I also, when I'm doing it by myself, I don't want to fucking click the pen and go, "Oh, I guess what I just thought of." But last week, again, so I want to fucking, we needed Smoke-A-Stan, because I was like, why, what did I say? I said a bunch of those weird smoking words. She's like, yeah, I don't know. So I had to go back and listen, and one of them grabbed me, and I threw it in there. But I got to admit, I was just like, I see you once a month now. It's my marker even. It's not like you got to pay for the ink. Just fucking cough it up and write down the name of a show, man. But she's very busy. Look, she's got stuff going on, and she can't be bothered to go ahead and write down my dumb stuff. Why would she ever do that? That would only make sense if she were to go ahead and write down my dumb stuff. By the way, it's my favorite Paul McCartney song. My dumb stuff. How does that song in my head? I want to see McCartney. You know what? They're doing that fucking show. Did you see that show in the desert? It's the Rolling Stones and Bob Dylan one day. And then the next day it's Paul McCartney and Neil Young. And then it's Roger Waters and The Who. And I'm glad they're doing it at night because I can't imagine that any of those guys want to be out in the sunlight because that's just got to be, I don't want to see a show because it's just 3 days of broken hips, right? Isn't that what's happening there? And look, I was thinking to myself, well, is this the thing to see? Like, have I seen it? Would I want to go see it? And people are calling it, of course, they're calling it Old Cella, which is fucking hilarious. But also at the same time, we got to have respect for these motherfuckers because they're still doing it, especially this year. Like, people are making fun of this show. They're like, oh my God, it's the Stones and Neil Young, and oh my God, all these old dudes. And I'm like, hey man, why, when you see what happened in the past few weeks, when we've lost David Bowie, we've lost Lemmy Kilminster, we've lost Prince, we've lost fucking Glenn Frey, We lost. There's a bunch of dudes who died that I don't even care about. Like the guy from Jefferson Airplane. I'm sure somewhere Paul Canton or whatever the fuck his name is. He's somebody's prince. Like somebody was sobbing for weeks. They were totally upset that Paul died. And you know why? Because he built that city. He built that city on rock and roll. That guy fucking died. I know he's from the airplane. He's not from Starship, but I don't fucking care. I wanted to say that in the moment. It's not like I planned that. What if I planned that? What if I wrote this entire thing just to get to that bit and then I signed off? This whole show was structured around my he built that city joke or reference. Not really a joke. More of a statement. More of a sentence, really. More of just a grouping of words that bring no humor or elicit no response from the listener in any way, shape, or form. Fuck, all right, stew. So let's talk about stew real quick, and then we'll get back to old Cella and everything else. And I had something else to talk about. Fuck. So I make the stew Saturday, and I cook it all, and it's I don't cook a fucking thing. I throw it in a slow cooker, and I turn the knob to high. That's all I did. And I'm always freaked out because I try to follow every recipe to the letter. So it says to cook it on low for 8 hours, and it'll pull out all the savory flavors. But I get a little late start throwing it in the thing, and it's got to be done before Jill gets home, or she'll break up with me. So I need to make sure it's finished before she walks in the goddamn door, because she just worked 12 hours, and I don't know where it's losing her because I didn't have dinner on the table when she got home. And oh my god, don't hit me again. So I cook it, it's that logic of like, well, if I can cook it on low for 8 hours, well, I could probably cook it on high for 5 hours, or 4 hours. So that's what I did. Here's what I did. I cook it on, here's my stew tip for you guys with the slow cooker. And this is what a chef does, folks. A chef makes an adjustment, and a chef goes, hey, you know what? I'm going to cook it on high for 4 hours and then low for 1 hour. And then you throw it on warm. You know what that does? Keeps it warm. I like that setting. Warm. I want to try to cook a whole meal on warm. I don't know much about slow cookers. They're a mystery to me. I just know the knob works. It's got high and low. Bingo. And it's got warm, though. But warm is just like it says. It keeps it warm. But fuck, I want to throw something in there and just put it on warm to see what happens. I'm sure nothing good. I'm sure it'll just be terrible. But maybe that's an experiment I make someday, now that I'm a slow cooker chef. So I make this stew on Saturday, and then she comes home from work. Well, I should tell you this. Hold on before that. So Saturday, I throw the stew in the slow cooker. And I had some work I had to do for next week. And so I sat down to do it. I'm looking through some stuff. And like I said, she said, you'll be taking pictures of Kale for his prom. And then he'll go off and he'll do pictures at the barn. Because, again, Wisconsin. And is that gross? That's I try not to be too loud. I should probably move away from the microphone when I drink something. I could probably cut that out, too. I should probably make a note of where that is. Boy, who am I, Lily? I can't do that kind of thing. So Kale tells me that we're leaving to go to the barn to take photos, and then we're going to the marina to take photos. And I thought I was just taking some photos of him in his tux here at the place, and then we're going to split. But no, it turns out I am now, I've been hired. It's not even like, hey, I'll take a few pictures for Jill. No, I'm pretty much pressed into duty to go ahead and take the photos. And look, I don't mind that. It's just that it's that thing. Look, here's who I am as a guy, especially now at the age of fucking 48. I hate the hassle. I just want to know what's going on, and it's something else. I'm working in therapy where it's like I said, I always think, like I just did it with Mex this weekend. I'm supposed to go see Mex on Friday, so and that was the plan all along. So I wanted to come down there for like a couple days, and then he's like, well, nah, you don't have to. Which, again, because I'm a weirdo, in my brain I go, well, fuck, he doesn't want me in his house, which is the dumbest thing in the world. But that's my initial instinct. But I'm fighting that now with the help of a Shannon. And I'm realizing that, not everything is DEFCON 5. Not everything is bad. And so obviously something else is going on. And he does not think we need to do that much work. I had hoped to come down like on Friday, Saturday, Sunday and do some stuff and square it up. But he's like, nah, man, you can get it all done on Friday. So then when it comes time to make the Friday plan, and this is the thing that drives Jill crazy too about me, and even though I'll even say to her at this point, I go, look, it's me. It's this comes with it. I'm sorry, but this is kind of the way it is. I will go ahead and I'll figure out, it's just who I am as a person. I don't like the work. I don't like to do the work in between. Like if I'm going to make stew, that's awesome. But then I'm going, well, I got to go to the store, and I got to go to another store, and I got to get that, and then I got to chop all the vegetables, and I got to chop everything. It's just like, no, I just want stew. I want to do that. Hey, guess what? Voila, stew. There it is. Fucking eat it. But it's all the work part and the hassle part. And again, that's not a hassle. It's not really work. It's just for some reason, my brain works in a way where it says, fuck, you don't want to do that. And it's the dumbest thing. I don't know why. It actually freaks me out a little bit. Who in their right mind goes, yeah, you don't want to do any of that work. And so that's something I'm talking to Shannon about is I have no work ethic. I've never had to prove anything to anybody really. Like when I was a kid, I didn't. Whatever. Fuck, I'm not going to delve into that. I'm going to climb off the fucking couch and talk more about Stu. So when she said, when Kale's like, yeah, we're going to go to the barn and we're going to go to the marine and all that, in my head I just go, this was a very good example of me not being me. I just went, okay. Like I didn't care about it. I didn't, initially in my head I was just like, fuck, well, I'm going to have to drive over there and then I'm going to drive here and then I'm going to take photos and hope I take good photos and I don't want to take bad photos. What if I can't take good photos for Jill and, she should be here and this is a prom and he's a sophomore and they got to remember this forever. Like all that weird pressure and nonsense and stupidity that I throw on myself. I don't know why it exists. I don't know why my mindset goes that way. And that's another reason I'd be bad in the zombie apocalypse. Everybody would be like, shoot that zombie. And I'm like, well, fuck, then I got to load the gun. We got to find more bullets. And this is one less bullet we've got to go ahead and save us later. What if we just ran from this guy? But then again, if we run from this guy, that means it's one zombie we're leaving alive. And then eventually he's going to be the one who finds me in my sleep. And I'm going to look up at him and go, fuck, that was the zombie I should have killed. And then I won't have a bullet on hand. I'm going to club him in the face. And then he's going to bleed zombie blood into my mouth. And I don't know if that changes me or something like that, or if just a mouthful of blood, which nobody wants. I don't know. I can't figure it out. See, I'm a pain in the ass. That's exactly what it is. I am a professional pain in the fucking ass. Not a professional. I'm an amateur because I don't get fucking paid for it. God damn it. See, I would love to be a professional pain in the ass. That'd be fine. Cough up my dough. Because you know what? Pay me to be me. Holy fuck, that'd be great. Pay me to fucking worry about shit and not get shit done. God damn, I'm on board with that. Give me a check and just in the memo part put pain in the ass. P-I-T-A. PETA. I'm a PETA. That's right. Open me up and stuff me full of lamb. I'm a goddamn PETA. So I was good on Saturday in my head. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm in for the duration here because again, it's that thing. I just read an article on it too, and I'm going to buy a book that I read an article by a Martha Nussbaum about anger and how it's pointless. It's just foolishness. Just solve the problem. And this is something, Dave and I have talked about and stuff like that. It's like, there's no reason to get mad. And Jill too. Jill and I, whenever we have this discussion, it's not even an argument. It's just a discussion at this point. Because I get flustered or mad when they pinged my bag for the fucking microphone in Burbank. I knew they were going to, and it went through, and this guy, and I could just see him. It's that smug guy from TSA sitting on a stool, and he makes the face, and he cocks his head one way, and I'm like, motherfucker, just take it. Don't consider it. Don't stare at it like you're looking at it in some way where you're going to go, I wonder what that is. Maybe I'll let it through. Because that's even worse. If you stop my bag and you look in the fucking TV and you see something suspicious, and then you go, it's all right. You just let it through. Well, fuck you. Then you know what? Then I really want to have something on the plane. Then I want to go ahead and whip out some kind of fucking baton and just fucking whack the shit out of everybody like Jennifer Lopez and fucking Out of Sight. Why was that my go-to? Why is that my tough person go-to? Because it's the baton, I thought. Because that scene where she's like, we tussled when she pulls out the fucking baton. Oh, man, it's a good movie. Fuck, I haven't seen it in a while. Albert Brooks, genius. Albert Brooks, I think I talked about this last week. I don't know if I did it. If I didn't get to it, I wanted to. Albert Brooks tweeted something, and I was telling Lee about it. Fuck, if I talked about it on the show, I apologize. But it left such an impact with me, I'm going to talk about it again. Albert Brooks tweeted... I'm paraphrasing because I'm not going to be as genius as him, and I can't remember the words exactly, but it was something like, boy, with all of this success, I hope Donald Trump doesn't get a big head. And he tweets that, and then a guy replies to him, and he goes, he's already got a big head. And Albert Brooks just writes, literally, he retweets that, and he just writes, this is why I want to quit. You're goddamn right. Because everybody comes in with a topper. First of all, they miss your point completely. They don't realize exactly what you meant. And then they try to top you. You're fucking Albert Brooks. Jesus, I wouldn't even because I really wanted to write him at that point because I loved it. I clicked like, and I wanted to write him and go, I want to like this 1,000 times. I want to go, and I wanted to open a dialogue. Yeah, dude. Whenever I write a joke on Facebook, it's like people swoop in and they all got something funnier to say. And then I'm like, why are you even bothering with Albert Brooks? That guy, he wants nothing. Because literally, I would write him, then he'd write, and this is also why I want to quit. Like he would want nothing to do with me. I'm a fucking insect. I'm an ant in the afterbirth compared to our good friend Albert Brooks. And he's not our good friend, but who cares? I love the fact that Marin keeps trying to get him on the show, and Albert Brooks will entertain it on Twitter. He'll always answer him. He's coy about it. He's funny, but and I don't know if he's gotten him yet. I have no idea, but I know that for a while he was really trying, and every time he would do it, Albert Brooks would be like, "Oh, I enjoy your enthusiasm." Like he would totally encourage him and never tell him no. But whatever. So Saturday, I wind up going. Like I said, I gave up. I was totally cool. I embraced it. I just embraced it. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I'm going to go take some photos. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to make it a good thing. And also, it doesn't hurt that Kale's a really good kid. Like, if he was just a jagoff, then it would be a problem. You know what I mean? I'm just like, if they were making me do something, that would suck. But I basically, in my head, I go, well, I get to hang out with Kale for a couple hours. That's cool. I mean, he's 16 going on 40. He's one of those dudes, like, it was Mother's Day on Sunday. And Jill's kids were kind of, she was trying to get together a dinner. And she was like, well, what are we going to do? Because she had to work 12 hours and she was trying to arrange their schedules and stuff. And so she wound up texting like, hey, I thought maybe we could do dinner on Saturday. And her kids they were dragging their feet a little bit on exactly where and what time. And Kale just came in and he's like, all right, well, cool. I'll see everybody at 5. We're going to do that. And he immediately, again, he's 16, but he just grabs that fucking electronic lasso and he lassos everybody up. I told her, I go, he reminds me of those like those sheepdogs that were on Letterman with the whistling, and they would the sheep would run runway and they'd like, psh, 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 and they'd make them go the other way. That's who Kale is. He just herds everybody in the right spot. He's on top of it. He knows what's going on. And he was on top of Saturday. He told me, he's like, we're going to leave in a half hour. And then all of a sudden it was like 45 minutes. I go, hey, Kale, are we going? And he goes, oh yeah, we're waiting on her. Because of course it's prom. So she's got to get layers of pancake makeup on or whatever the fuck girls do. I don't know. I don't know anything about prom. I didn't go. But I think there are dresses involved, correct? So I go with Kale. We go to the girl's house and I meet her family. So again, I'm a local, man. That's who I am. I got to be family. It was pretty neat because Jill was working. So I said, I'm Kale's mom's boyfriend, and I met the girl he was going with. And this girl, she was, first of all, so cute. She's a little tiny wedding cake girl. You know what I mean? Just so small. And she's kind of like Jill. She might even be a little tinier than Jill, and because Jill is so wee. She's totally small. She's like 5. Jill's 5 feet tall, and she weighs 98 pounds. But this girl is around there, and she's in her prom dress, and you can just see she's a little tomboyish, but she was enjoying being a girl for the day type of deal. She had makeup on and she had, her jewelry and she had a little sparkly dress on, but she still had enough of that kind of spunk. I know that sounds weird and I hate spunk. Yeah, you know what that's from. All right. So, I just did, sadly, I did a Mary Tyler Moore reference just now. Because I literally was going to just let it go with what that's from, but I'm going to call myself on the fact that I just did a reference from 1977. I think it was. I was 10. That's how sad it is. I was 10 years old when that happened. I think I remember watching it when it happened. Fucking Lou Grant. And then wasn't there a weird thing in the Mary Tyler Moore show where because he was like a mentor, Lou Grant, but there was also like this vague hint of possible romance between the two of them. And I was just like, oh, fuck, that's awful. I mean, if Mary Tyler Moore would have fucked Ed Asner, like Lou Grant or whatever the fuck, because she was Mary Tyler Moore in the show, but he was Lou Grant, but he was really Ed Asner. But I mean, because Ed Asner, who he looks like a Marvel villain. You know what I mean? He reminds me of the scene in Reservoir Dogs when Tim Roth is like, who he looks like? The Thing. Motherfucker looks exactly like The Thing. Well, Ed Asner, he kind of looks like Rhino. Like, he's just that round dude. He looks like, what he looks like? He looks like a fire hydrant with a bad, ill-fitting shirt on. I mean, that's who he's just that round fucking weird, kind of I don't know. I can't even explain it. He looks like a mushroom, Ed Asner. So if he would have fucked Mary Tyler Moore, that would have been horrifying, right? Wasn't there a scene? I thought there was a scene where they kind of fell in love, or again, I thought it was a mentor deal where she liked him a lot, but they weren't sure if they liked one another. Who knows? But there was this vague undercurrent of possible fucking between the two of them, which is just horrifying. I mean, if he would have fucked her, it would have been like in a Disney movie. If like the ogre got to fuck the mouse, you know what I mean? Just, nobody wants to see that. And by the way, I have no idea what Disney movie had an ogre and a mouse other than fucking all of them. It would have been like if if Gaston got to fuck the teapot, right? Is that Beauty and Beast? I think so. Well, she's not the teapot, and he's certainly not Gaston. Gaston's a good-looking dude. It's like I don't know. Again, let's go with the ogre and the mouse. Let's throw Gaston and the teapot out the fucking window, and let's just stay with the ogre and the mouse. And by the way, if one of you does not write any slash fiction about the ogre and the mouse, I'm going to be very disappointed in you as a collective whole. I'll be mad at everybody just for the actions of one of you. If one of you doesn't do it, I'll be mad at all of you. How's that sound? So I go Saturday to take fucking photos, and you know me, I'm a shutterbug. I've got an eye for it. Not only am I a chef with my slow cooker, because that's the deal. I can be a chef because I can turn a knob. There you go. You work a knife and turn a knob. Well, same thing as a photographer. I can point and click. That's all I got to fucking do. Which makes no sense considering the fact when I got on the plane, I just started hitting people with my gun. Again, it's also point and click. So I go with them and again, so she's got her sparkly little dress on, and then I meet her dad, and I meet his fiance, and I meet her friend, who I thought was her sister but wasn't. And so they said that we're going to the barn. Now, again, like I said earlier, I guess I tipped it a little bit because I thought the barn was just like a restaurant. Because I used to do comedy at a joint called the Barn in Tustin. So I just thought it was like a local landmark where they had cool scenery in the courtyard, and maybe I'd get some fried pickles. But I don't fucking know. We start driving. Kale's like, follow me. So I go, like I said, I went to their house, and then I followed Kale. And this is funny. We walk out, and Kale says, "Am I going to drive? Are you going to drive?" And she goes, "You drive." But she hands him her keys. She goes, "We'll take Bruce." And I didn't meet a Bruce, so I don't know who Bruce is. And I was like, "Who's Bruce?" And they go, "That's her truck." Wisconsin. So she has a truck named Bruce. So they climb in, and I follow them. And like I said, I thought we were going. I didn't know where the barn was. It turns out it's like it's like 6 miles from Jill's house. But in Wisconsin, dude, like in LA, 6 miles. You're driving, you see some 7-Elevens, you see some gas stations, and then you're there. Here, man, 6 miles is a slog. You're just driving, and you see the same fucking tree 12 times. You might see a fucking deer who looks up and just goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Exactly. I agree with you, deer. I have no fucking idea why I'm here. So we're driving, and we're driving into the country, and it's just dust clouds and rolling. It looks, you know what it looks like? The opening scene of 48 Hours. When Billy Bear goes to fucking rescue Gans from the chain gang, and it's just driving, and there's just fucking dirt clouds and nothing but fields all over the fucking place. So that's what we're doing. We're driving. It's that thing where it's 45, but you could go 80, and nobody would fucking know because nobody's been on that road in 4 years except for to dump a body. So we're driving out to the fucking barn. We're rolling down the river. I got to be honest, there's a river very close by, so I knew we were getting close to the barn then because you build a barn close so your livestock can graze. So your livestock can brand grazer. I don't even know why that popped into my head. So, hold on. I'm going to move away from the microphone this time as an experiment. All right. I have no idea if you heard that or not. There's good acoustics in Jill's kitchen. I got to turn this light off. There we go. Now we're broadcasting in the dark. But we were just, because it's like 7 a.m, man. Because again, we're getting on a plane to fucking Minneapolis today. And you guys will know that because you're all meeting me there. Everybody was just like, "I cannot wait. Oh my God, it's perfect." Nope, nobody knows. People wrote me, some cool people. So I'll just say this now. What a great time I had in Minneapolis with Cindy and Justin and Dustin. I'm saying that both because I forget who it was. I think it was Justin. And Rob, possibly, I saw. And then possibly John. Who knows? Everybody wrote me. And I wrote them, and who knows if I'll meet them up or not. For some wild rice and fucking walleye. So we drive on this fucking road for days and fucking days. And like I said, we pass the chain gang. We don't rescue Gans. We just keep rolling. And then we get to the, my throat just made a noise, but I can't cut it out. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. That was just residual from the fucking drink. And this microphone is so good, it picks it up. So I got to finish that thought. So I was at I'm sorry. So I'm in Burbank at the airport, and they eye my bag, and they're staring at it, and they're looking, and they're fucking making this thing. And I know they're going to take it. And I get this overwhelming anger about me where I'm just like, man, just fucking look at the bag. Can we just get the fuck out of here? I just want to get in the goddamn plane. And Jill can sense it. And we're a weird coupling in that way because she can sense my weird cloud showing up and my anger about to fucking boil over, even though it's not really anger. I guess it was. Yeah, it was. It's just frustration. It's just, can we just get out of here? Why am I getting pinged? I know I'm a good guy. You know I'm a good guy, right? So who cares? Just get my fucking bag out of the way. But they started to take a look at it, and the guy's going to fucking pull it aside, and they got to swab down all my stuff with a fucking... And it's funny. You know what I traveled with? I had a bag of candy. Because Jill, when she was by my house last month, we bought all this Easter candy that was like 70% off, and it's just been sitting in my goddamn house, and I don't want to eat it because it's fucking candy and I'm fat. So I said, we're bringing this all to your house where I'll eat it there. Because again, when I'm here, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because I'm not me here. Like I told you, I get to Hefner out. I get to wear some sweat, like the fur pants or whatever the fuck, felt pants. I wear felt pants. Yeah, I do. Because, they're big on hunting out here. So I went out and I shot a pool table and I skinned it and I made myself some pants. Oh my God, am I a tough guy. That's Wisconsin Mike. He shot a pool table, skinned it, and made himself some felt pants. Woo! I wish you could run your hands all over my thighs. Oh, just the very sparks that would shoot off your fingertips from the static electricity would be astounding. So I fucking, whatever. I wear they're not even sweatpants. They're not, because the sweatpants are like thick. The fuck is lounge pants, pajama pants? I'm a fucking loser. That's what I am. I'm a guy who wears pajama pants and slippers when I'm here. And I have to admit, because Jill will even go, hey, why don't you change? You should get comfortable. You should take off your jeans and just put on some pajama pants. And I don't know if she's trying to seduce me, Mrs. Robinson, or she just really doesn't want me wearing jeans on her couch. I can't fucking figure it out. But I live my life in shoes and pants. That's how I do it. I live my life in clothes. I'm a grown man, so I'll wear jeans and I wear shoes. But then she's got me here wearing these, kind of, like I said, lounging pants. And I call it Hefnering. I think I've talked about that on here on the show. I call it Hefnering. It's the only way I can make it sound manly in my head, because Hefner would walk around in silk pajamas and get 5 blowjobs in an afternoon. Good for him. Well, I do that here in Wisconsin. 5 seems high. 3? It all depends on if Jill's working 12 hours or 8 hours. And that's why I make so much stew for her. I got to keep her strength up, because she's blowing me 3 times a day while I walk around in silk pajamas in her fucking house. Jesus Christ. Because I don't know if you know, the stew is so good for the joints, and she's on her knees all the goddamn time. Oh man, that helps her get up and down off the floor, or the bed, or the couch, or the kitchen table, or the fucking countertop. Oh yeah, that's right, goddammit. Actually, she's not. What if she was kneeling on the countertop blowing me? Where the fuck am I? Standing up? I'm on top of the. I gotta be standing on the countertop at that point. I gotta be honest. You gotta be really bored with fucking head if you're making somebody kneel on the countertop while you stand on it. At that point, you're just looking for shit to keep yourself distracted. Yeah, why don't you suck my cock on the countertop? Would that be okay? I'll just climb up there, stand up, you kneel on it. I'm sure it's hard on the knees or whatever the fuck, but we'll just put the Keurig back toward the wall and we'll have some space, I guess. Fuck, man. You got, head is head, and it's really fucking great. You don't need to jazz it up with a fucking location shoot. All right, I don't understand that at all. Unless you're going to the barn. Because I'll tell you what, if you want an exciting blowjob, go to the barn. I was there. Oh my God, it was astounding. So I wear these fucking slippers and these pajama pants, man. And then I wind up fucking, it's cool. I mean, it's really kind of great and it's neat and I like feeling that way. But also at the same time, I feel like a pussy. And I'm not going to lie to you. I just feel like a pussy, and I don't tell Jill that. She'll hear it on this fucking show. Although she won't. She has one earbud in. She'll fucking miss this segment completely. But I feel like a pussy when I do it, because because if there was a fight, because this truly happened. We're here and she was getting DirecTV put in here at the house, and that was a fucking circus. They had to come 9 times. And then it's like, Jill has a type, and she's gonna kill me for saying that. She likes me because I'm a big guy. So whenever there's a big guy now, I'm always like, oh fuck, well that big guy's gonna replace me. And I know it's the dumbest fucking thing in the world, but yet that's what I do. And I've even said that to her. I'm like, I have nothing to offer you. I don't even know why you fucking hang around, other than this or that. And she's just like, there's like 1,000 things I love about you. And I gotta be honest with you, part of me wanted to go name them. I want to hear them. I want to hear the 1,000 fucking things about me you love. How about the 1,000 times I got mad and you had to go, oh my God, he's doing it again. Like, is that what you love about me? Do you love the constant fear that I'm going to wheel on somebody? Is that what you're looking for? Do you like tension? Is that what you love about me? But then these big dudes come over for DirecTV, and then she's like, hey, that dude looks like this guy, who's a guy that she, told me once was like attractive. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to fucking hear that, because then I'm out of town for 2 fucking weeks. And then these dudes are going to come over and be like, hey, how's that satellite dish working out? Let's check out some of those pay-per-view channels. Whoa, what's this? MILFs who like to get banged on the countertop? Let's watch it. Hey, look, it's sexy girls who like to give head on a fucking counter. So, whatever. So DirecTV, they come over and they're going to install a fucking pole. And by the way, that's my great fear. That's what they're going to do when I'm out of town. I don't want anybody, when I'm out of town, I don't want anybody coming to my girlfriend's house to install a pole. No, thank you. You can keep the pole away from here until I show up and I can go ahead and make sure you guys are doing the job when I'm in the fucking kitchen staring. Nobody gets to come here and plant their pole. So she's with me, and they come to do the DirecTV, and they come to install everything. And I knew they were coming, but I didn't know what time. And then all of a sudden they just show up. I thought they were going to call, because usually they'll call and say, hey, we're on our way. But this time they just knocked on the door, and I answered the door, and I'm wearing fucking, like I said, I'm wearing these fucking felt pants and a fucking felt pen. Travolta. A felt pen. That was loud. So I'm wearing felt pants and slippers, like literally slippers, like not like the, not backless slippers, because that would just be terrible, like sandals, not that kind of thing. No, like I've got, dude, for Christmas, she got me fuzzy slippers. And I got to tell you, they're fucking awesome. But also at the same time, I'm the biggest pussy in the world when I wear them, because who can fight in a pair of slippers? And it's the dumbest thing in the world. I choose clothing according to how it's going to handle itself in a fight. By the way, I don't know how clothing has to handle itself in a fight. Really? Is that what's happening? Oh, dude, clothing. My shoes totally handle themselves. I get some tough shoes. I'll tell you what, I'm wearing some tough skins right now. My pants can handle themselves in a fight. But I answer the door wearing pajama pants and fucking slippers, and these dudes are like, hey, what's going on? And they come walking in, and they're big burly dudes with tool belts, and I'm walking around in pajamas and slippers, and Jill is just, and I went and changed. I went and changed clothes, and she's laughing at me, and I go, look, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit here in pajama pants and slippers. All these fucking guys do man work. She goes, what are you going to do? I go, I'm going to go help them. I'm going to see what they need me to do. And she's like, they don't need you to do anything, idiot. Just sit down and relax. It's okay. This is your house. You can relax. You're more than capable. And I'm like, yeah, but I just don't want them fucking coming in here and just later on they're in the van and they're like, oh my God, what about that fucking pussy? We went to his house. Because then they'll come here and they think they're going to kill me and they're going to rape her. It's going to be like straw dogs. That's the thing. These guys are just coming to get the lay of the land. These guys have calluses and shit like that. I can't fucking handle that. I got calluses, but it's from weightlifting. It's not from real work. I don't do the work. We talked about that earlier. So I wear slippers and fucking pants, and I feel like such a pussy when I do it, but I also love it because then she, curls up on me like a cat on the couch and her hands find their way inside the felt pants and everything goes to work and everything's exciting. And then I got a pair of slippers. I can slip those off and I lay on the couch. She lays on top of me. It's fucking fun. It's awesome. We get on the countertop. I've got my slippers, because then, and I'll tell you what, that's the good thing about being on the countertop with the slippers. They're absorbent. So while I'm up there and I'm getting a countertop head, I can go ahead and mop up a spill. And believe me, we're on our way to a spill if I'm getting countertop head. Well, maybe not. And that's all I'm going to say. All right, so it is, so I go to the barn. I follow Bruce, the truck Bruce, and we drive. And I just wind up taking photos like the whole time that I'm there. I meet everybody and, Kale's date, she wanted to go to the barn. It's a legitimate barn. It's not a restaurant. I'm not there to get any fucking special dish. I'm not going to get fried cheese curds. It's an actual barn with actual horses, and she owns a horse named Dynamite. Although she should have named him Wildfire. You know why? Because she's 16 and I'm 75 years old. How the fuck do I know about that? You know what? Because I was listening to Wildfire on my little cassette player as I watched Ed Asner fuck Mary Tyler Moore. That's what I was doing. He hates spunk. So he would not be fond of my countertop idea. Unless he's got some slippers. Ed Asner and some slippers absorbently wiping up some of my spills? Absorbently? I just made that an adverb. I just took absorbent and made it an adverb, folks. Try that at home. Go ahead and do that. Write that on a legal pad, Lily. Fuck! All right, I just drank something. My throat may make another weird noise, and I apologize. It's so funny. Until I started editing the show, I had no idea that shit happened. So I figured I just talked and you didn't hear stuff. You heard my voice. But then as I'm editing, I'll hear like little gurgling noises. I'm like, oh my God, that just sounds awful. It sounds like you're listening to an iguana. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking, and then all of a sudden, like a throat baby shows up, and I'm like, oh man, nobody wants a fucking throat baby in the middle of their goddamn show. So I go to the barn, taking some photos, and she pulls out Dynamite. And I take pictures of her son, and they put her on a tractor. There's like a muddy tractor, and she's all for it. Here's the thing: she's wearing this sparkly dress, but she's wearing cowboy boots, dude. Kale's wearing cowboy boots too, but his boots were sharp. I mean, because I think they're like fucking $800 boots that Jill got him for Christmas one year, and they went with the tux. He even got the shiny shoes, with the tux, the bag of shoes. You know how they got a bag of shoes. Well, he instead wore his boots, which was the move, and they looked great. Well, then we get to her place, and she's also wearing boots. And you can just tell that she's, again, she's super cute, and she's a little tiny girl, but she's a little, like I said, a little tomboyish. So she keeps holding the dress in her hand. Like she's not elegantly walking through the field. She keeps balling it up in her fist as she walks with her fucking cowboy boots and climbing on tractors with dirt on them. We took pictures on Bruce. She wanted pictures on Bruce. She took pictures on a tractor with dirt. She took Dynamite out. And I kept saying to Kale, I go, you going to get in this horse? And he's like, maybe. That's another cool thing about Kale that he got from his mom. He's a yes. Like there was no pretense about, no, this is dumb, or I don't want to do this. He was such a gentleman this entire time because he was there for his date. I don't think in his mind he's like, hey, I can't wait to go to the barn and take photos with a horse. But he's from Wisconsin, so he gets it, and he's her friend. I don't think it was even really a date situation for them. Maybe, I don't know, but she was his date for the prom certainly. So he I was so impressed with his maturity and his willingness to go along with everything. Everything. They get the horse out. He's got his arm around it. And, he's taking photos with it. They Snapchatted photos of their friends of them with the horse. They get on the truck. A dog comes running up, and he just, he's in a tux. This kid's in a tux, man. And he just starts petting the dog and having a good time. And his date would say, "Well, what should we do now? Where do we take a picture now?" And he'd go, "Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do." But not in a passive aggressive shitty way, because believe me, I'm familiar with that. Whatever, whatever you think is best, whatever you want to do, whatever's fine. No, he wasn't doing it like that. He was doing it in a cool way where he was just like, "Hey, this is your day. And whatever you want to do, you want to take more pictures with dynamite, we can do that. You want to go over by the truck, we can go to the tractor, whatever. I'm in." And I would come up to him and I'd tease him, I just a little bit at a time. I'd just be like, "Oh, dude, you should climb in that tree. Oh man, you know what? Let's take a picture standing on the car." Just silliness, and he'd laugh. But he was completely on board. He was willing to do whatever she wanted to do. So we're there for like I don't know, an hour. Yeah, that's right. Me at a barn with horses and shit for an hour. But I was, you know what? I just accepted. I gave myself over to the experience, and I'm like, this is what we're doing, and we'll see how long it takes. And we were there for, like I said, driving there took fucking 15 minutes. We're at the barn for an hour. Then we got to leave there and drive another 20 minutes. We go to the marina, and then we take photos by the lighthouse and photos by, I was pressed into duty for Jill, and I felt great about it. Like, I loved it. I was so happy. Like I said, it felt like family. And she kept texting me, which was hilarious, because we both have the same disease. We think that if you ever ask anybody to help you with anything, you're the worst person in the world. Oh man, look, I'm really sorry. Can you give me a ride to the airport? I know I'm a jagoff. I'm terrible. No, you're not terrible. You need help. And so you're asking somebody for some help. So she kept saying to me, "Man, I'm really sorry you're having to do this. I'm so sorry. My throat." Sorry about that. She's like, "I'm really sorry." Wait, does it even sound different to you guys? Like, it sounded different to me. Like, all of a sudden the sound of my throat was like bananas. I had a throat baby. You know what? I had a throat baby. I had a fucking clam in there. But I'm trying to move him around. He's still there lurking. He's very much a barnacle on my vocal cords right now. Perhaps I have a node. Oh my God, did I grab a node at the end of year 8? That's the drama for year 9. Who knows? Will he bring his node into year 9? Will there be a year 9? If there is a year 9, what if the node just gets year 9? What if Mike doesn't even show up? What if it's the 40-year-old node? That'd be fucking perfect. So she kept apologizing to me. She's like, "Man, I'm really sorry you got to take time from your day. I'm sorry you got to go do this. I'm sorry you got to take these." And I'm like, "Fuck, this is awesome. Like, I'm loving it. I'm excited to do it." Loving it is wrong. I can't say that I was like, "This is the greatest day," but what it was I felt like I belonged. Like, I felt like family. And Kale's gone out of his way to do that for me. When I first came here, and I've talked about this, I asked his permission. I was basically like, "Hey, look, can I stay in your house? I love your mom. I'm going to be here a lot, and I hope it's okay with you that I stay in your house." And he gave me his permission early, but then as we've grown to be friends, I realized that he kind of intimated, "Yeah, I just did that because you were going to," like, he figured I was just going to come anyway, which probably was true because me and his mom were in love. But at the same time, I did respect him enough where I wanted to talk to him, because that would have been something that would have been cool if the guys when I was a fucking kid would have done it instead of just walking around in their underwear and taking shit out of my fridge. Mike Carnett, you fuck. So he and I hung out that day, and then we went to the marina. I took more pictures, and then I got home. And Jill was working, and she got back here at 4:30, and she had worked, she works 12.5-hour days, counting travel time, 13-hour days, on Saturday and Monday. Sunday she works 10 hours. And it's so funny because I'll be waiting for her to get home, and when she comes in the door, I want to be like, "Hey, hi," and give her a hug and like, "Yay, now our day can start." Because, I've done nothing all fucking day except work on the computer or hang out and write stuff or whatever I need to do, answer emails, which is still work for me, certainly. But for her, she doesn't know that that's work, really, because you know why? She does real work. That's why. Because she's 12 hours at a fucking desk or back at, running reports and doing this kind of shit and checking on her department and supervising people and whatever the fuck she's got to do. So when she walks in the door, man, I'm always like, "Hey, hi, oh my God, I love you." And I try to create this family nesting type environment, and man, she just wants to decompress. So I hover, and it's weird because I'm like, "Hey, can I take your coat? Can I take your shirt? Can I take your bra? That'd be fucking awesome. Let's do that." And she's just like, "Hi, honey." And she she'll give me, she like one word answers. Like it's this, you know, she's still at work a little bit, you know what I mean? Until she gets in the shower and gets out of it. And so I have to kind of throttle myself back, you know, where I'm just like, because normally I just want to pick her up and sweep her up and go, hey, let's do this and let's watch a show and and she's just like, I just walked in and I got to get, you know, this taken care of, which again, I understand because it's like if I walked off stage at a show and everybody's like, okay, oh my God, let's go out and do this and do that. And I'm just like, no, you got to decompress a little bit. There has to be at least, you know, even 15 minutes, a half hour, something where you can just kind of throttle down a little bit because you're in one mode and then you got to slide into the other mode. You know, it's like if I was, you know, running to the barn and taking photos and then I had to come home and change into my pajama pants and goddamn slippers. And I was like, oh, yay. Now, no, you can't fucking do that. I can't go from, you know, California Mike to Wisconsin Mike that quickly like that. Voila. No, I've got to go ahead and there's stages. I have to go from, you know, because I have to go from California Mike and then be Illinois Mike. And then all of a sudden I can get to being Wisconsin Mike. Eventually. It takes time, but I can get there. So I got to go, that's what I got to do Saturdays. I went to the barn and I took photos and I felt like I belonged. It was really cool. Like it was kind of a neat thing to be called upon. And then that day, like I said, I made stew. So my whole day kind of went away because I went shopping, I made stew and I didn't make fucking stew. I turned a knob, but I still had to chop shit. So fuck you. Yeah. You know what? I made stew. Fuck off. Who are you to fucking bully me and tell me I didn't make any goddamn stew? I got the stew to prove it. I'll take a photo of it and put it up on fucking internet. How's that grab you? Or I'll put it on the World Wide Web. If you're not Barbara Walters. But here's the whole point of this is I make the stew. This is the second time I've made it. The first time I made it was fucking delicious. Second time I make it, you know, Jill and I sit down and eat dinner and she's taking a shower. She's gotten all dressed. She's back from work and she's kind of quiet and decompressing. And I get that, but I made stew, man. I fucking made stew. So I get, you know, I make rice and then we get bowls of stew and we go and sit down and, I won't lie. I tasted it and I knew immediately it was different. I don't know. And in my head, it was that thing where I panicked. I immediately wanted to know what I did differently to it to make it not taste. Because the first time, I can't even explain it. It was so savory that you just wanted to keep eating it, like spoonfuls of it and just keep swallowing it until you just fucking exploded like in Seven. That's what you know what, this is the kind of stew that I would let Kevin Spacey tie me to a chair and force me to eat. God damn, it was delicious. I wouldn't care if I burst at the seams. That's how good it was 2 weeks ago. The stew I made Saturday was good, but there was something, it didn't have any seasoning. In my head, I took one bite. You ever see the movie Ratatouille? Where the food critic takes the bite of the ratatouille and he's transported to his childhood and he's going through and he's like, oh my God. And he has that revelatory experience with the food and it brings him back to a place that he hasn't been in a long time and it makes him happy. Well, I had that same experience when I bit the stew. But it took me back to a different place, a place where I again had made a terrible mistake and I had ruined everything and I couldn't figure out what the fuck I had done wrong. And oh my God, it's going to be ruined. And I'm so mad. I crucified myself immediately because I tasted it and I knew the second I put it in my mouth, it wasn't the same. Hey, I'm done talking about stew. For now, who knows? I may revisit stew later. If we need a moment of levity later, perhaps I will finish the stew story. But I'm guessing I won't. I am no longer in Wisconsin. I am in Chicago, Illinois, Chicago. I'm at University of Illinois, Chicago. I'm conducting a symposium, How to Talk to Yourself in a Basement. I'm here at Dave's, and I need to finish the show. If you've heard the beginning of this show, I doubt you knew exactly where to jump. What if you did? What if you knew exactly where to jump in the middle of this show to find the new part? Yeah, I'm going to skip the first hour and 2 minutes and see what this guy's got cooking in the middle. Stupid. So the beginning of the show was done at Jill's, and I told you we were going to Minnesota, Minneapolis, and all that cool stuff, and that happened. I wound up going because I recorded. All right, as you know, I am a bit of a late starter, and here's the way I excuse it. Like Jill was like, "Did you finish the show?" I said no, and she just looks at me and shakes her fucking head, and I don't blame her. But I tell her, I go, "Look, man, creativity doesn't work like that." There's a reason when Lily and I do this show, sometimes we're together for 7 or 8 hours. It's because I'll fucking sit there and I'll talk for fucking 20 minutes or 40 minutes or 60 minutes. Sometimes I get in a fucking roll and bury it. And I'll do an entire fucking show in one take, which is amazing and fun. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. And then sometimes I'm sitting there with my fucking headphones in my hands and I'm, staring at the floor and trying to figure out where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. And sure, I make it seem effortless. And I make it seem like something that's amazing. No, I don't. Why would I say it was amazing? Because it is. Fuck that. I'm great. But I got through the first hour before I had to pick Jill up and head to Minneapolis. So like I said, I stopped in the middle of that stew story, and in my head I'm like, well, I'll just rejoin the stew story already in progress. But folks, some more interesting things have happened that have put the stew story on the back burner. You know what I'm enjoying? This stove analogy I'm coming up with. This stew thing, because it permeates my entire being. Who am I? Inside of me, I'm just stew and skin. That's all I am. I'm full of beef and carrots. Cut me open and eat me. All right, so. That morning, which was what, Monday morning? No, Tuesday morning. I told you we were going to fucking Minneapolis. And so I finished the show at that crucial stew-based moment. Oh, stupid. Oh, it was a pivotal point in the 8 years of this podcast. It's the final episode of year 8. And oh my God, the stew cliffhanger. I knew it was going to rope you in. Fucking moron. Oh, I'm totally going to get him with this beef-related hangover. Oh, fuck. I can't wait till you guys pay attention to this. Jesus Christ. How did his stew turn out? I'm in show business. Oh, God damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, I knew it. That's the stuff, boy. I'll tell you, you want to hook people in, get them halfway through a recipe and cut your fucking show in half. That's it. Do an hour about stew and then bail. Get on a plane. And then come back and revisit it 2 days later, because that's the most important stew in the universe. Were there noodles or rice involved? Stay tuned. Fucking moron. Oh, Jesus. I'm actually crying. That's fucking dumb. Oh, boy. All right, I'm glad you're back on board for this fucking stew canoe. Oh, man. So, I left you guys hanging there at that very, very important stew moment, and I had to get on a plane. So I had to go pick up my girl from work. Hopped in the car, packed the bag, grabbed her curling iron, did all the things I was told to do, turned the heat off, because I'm a dutiful husband. So I went ahead and packed all the shit, and I fucking grabbed everything. I went and picked her up at work. And off we were, man. I grabbed her. It's like 8 a.m. We had to go to the fucking airport, take a flight to Minneapolis. And, when I fly with her these days, I'm her companion. We joke about the fact that I'm her proxy. We joke about a bunch of shit, actually. She flies me on these flights because last year she got 100,000 fucking points with Southwest by flying back and forth to see me. So she wanted to bring a companion pass, and I'm lucky enough to have been made her companion. So when I see her, sometimes we'll go for 2 days. She buys a ticket, and I fly free. And that doesn't make me feel like a fucking mooch at all. But it's awesome, and I like doing it. So she was the one who came up with the idea. She's like, we should do these day trips. And I'm like, that's a fucking cool ass idea. Because we want to go to baseball stadiums and we want to see cool places and do cool things. And we would like to, and that would be fun. So we decided we were going to go to Minneapolis and go to a Twins game or 2. We weren't sure. I told you about it. So then she texted me that day. She bought fucking Twin tickets online for like $3 each. Because the Twins fucking suck. I mean, they're terrible. But their stadium is gorgeous, and we just wanted to go. Again, it's Twins-Orioles. Who the fuck cares? Nobody. But I want to go watch Mark Trumbo hit a fucking ball into the drink, so why not? Let's check it out. And I want to see the stadium, and I want to go with her because we're collecting stadiums together. It's pretty fun. As you know, we've gone to fucking California stadiums. We went to fucking Oakland, whatever. So I pick her up, hop on the plane, the Southwest plane, which was half empty. Not a lot of people going from Milwaukee to Minneapolis on Tuesday fucking morning. And she also got a deal. Dude, this whole trip was a goddamn deal she scoped out because it started at Groupon. She found a Groupon Comfort Inn, which was like, I think it was $40 a night, which is ridiculous. And it was there. And again, we just want to come to fucking town because there's cheap airfare, cheap this, cheap that. If we can do it on the fucking shoestring, then it's even better. Because you know why? She's paying for all of it. And again, don't think that doesn't fucking make me feel like a mooch. But she's good about it. She's like, I love you. I want to do this. Let's do it. I go, all right, cool. So we go to Minneapolis, we go to the Comfort Inn to check in. I took her to the Comfort Inn, tucked her in, pulled out the third leg, pumped it in. No, that's what Ice Cube would do, but that's me talking about if I was Ice Cube. So we wound up going there and landed at the airport. It was totally fine. We get to the Comfort Inn and they're not able to check us in. So we're like, well, let's go to lunch. So Jill and I don't like finding fucking, I don't want to go to a chain. The whole point of going to these places is to go places you can only go to in those towns. So we find a lunch place called Revival. And Jill and I went to lunch on Tuesday, and it's, it's a waiting list place. There's no reservations or anything, and they're busy as fuck. Like, we get there and they're only about half full, but as we ate, there was a line out the fucking door of people just standing outside and waiting. And it's like a southern cooking joint in fucking Minnesota. So those people are going to go bananas for it, because the whole time they're eating fucking lutefisk and brown rice, and they're like, holy shit, this has sauce on it. So they're excited. They go to a place that has chicken, and this chicken, it had like fucking southern fried chicken, Tennessee hot chicken, and then they had something on the menu that said poultrygeist. And in my head, I'm like, well, dude, what if you eat that and you shit out a ghost? That's fucking perfect. That's exactly what you're looking for in a chicken dish. I'll tell you what, if you can make me a chicken dish that I can eat and a ghost flies out of my ass, oh my God, I'm ordering that every fucking time and twice on Sunday. You know why? Because I like a double ghost Sunday. Fuck you. So, we look at the menu, and then they had they had appetizers. They had fried green tomatoes. They had hush puppies and grits and macaroni and cheese, all that bullshit. So Jill was like, well, I want fried green tomatoes. And then they had fried chicken livers. And that's another reason, Jill and I will go places. We look for chicken livers all over this great land of ours. I love them. I'm a huge fan. We like a pate. I like a pate. You know what? I like a pat and I like a tay. Put them together. That's a pate. I'll knock it down. Put it on a cracker. Put it on celery. Put it on bread. No, that's gross. Who the fuck would eat it on bread? They ever puts out like a dip with fucking bread, like crudités and shit? You ever see that when they try to smear it on a goddamn piece of hunk of Italian bread? Ugh, don't like it. Give me a chip for a dip. I don't want to dip a bread in anything. Fuck your artichoke bowl. All right. So we go out to lunch, and it was great, me also, I order too much fucking food, always, because my eyes still have a fat guy eye, and I have a fat guy brain. I do not have a fat guy stomach, unfortunately, inside. Outside I do, whatever, you don't care. Oh no, you care, everybody cares. So what it is I see the menu and I want to order fucking everything because it all looks good, and I want to try it out because I'm only going to be at that place once, and that's just fucking dumb. That makes no sense. By the way, also, I don't know what sound quality is like here because I'm talking into a different microphone. This isn't one of Dave's microphones, and it's not my microphone. I don't have my microphone right now. So I bought a Snowball, which I usually fucking hate because, I go to people's houses and I do their podcasts, and then I listen to it back, and it sounds like I'm shouting from the bottom of a ravine. But I'm kind of up close on it here, so hopefully it's coming out good. And again, my levels are all fucked up. Tom Faust, I know, I get it. Everybody tells me my levels and they can't hear me. I hope you can hear me now. So we ordered food, and we ordered fried green tomatoes and chicken livers as an appetizer. And then the chick came over and she's like, hey, do you guys want to order your entree? And we're like, yeah. So Jill was going to get, of course, poultrygeist because she eats flames. Unless she's eating like red hot coals and cinders, she's just doesn't feel like she's alive. And I'm on board where I'm just going to grab like some regular chicken because I wanted to try the chicken. I didn't need a double burger. I mean, I wasn't that hungry. So as we're about to order our entrees, I ordered Jill's poultrygeist. And then they bring over our appetizers. And dude, holy fuck. Like, I mean, look, they bring 3 fried green tomatoes in just a bed of like, buttermilk cream cheese fucking dressing with greens, microgreens or whatever, which is good. But they brought these chicken livers over. Chickens were descended from dinosaurs? Well, I think they found the dinosaur chickens and extracted their livers for this fucking dish. I mean, I posted a picture of it on Facebook. I should have Instagrammed it. I probably should have Snapchatted it. Maybe I could have Ello'd it. I might have peached it. But holy fuck. I mean, it was just this plate of breading and livers, and it was on Texas toast, and it was covered with this habanero applesauce, and holy Jesus God, it was gigantic. So I thank God they brought it. They cost themselves fucking $12 because I was going to order chicken, but I looked at that plate of livers and I go, fuck this. I am out. I can't do this. By the way, when I get home, I got stew to eat. I can't be too full. So I said I'd just deal with the appetizers, and then when Jill's chicken came, I'd try it. Because that's the rule. If she orders fucking flame-throwing shit, I got to have a bite of it, which is fine. I'm on board. That's the way. I like it. So they bring the poultrygeist, and you look at it, and it doesn't look hot. Like, that's the thing. These sauces, these ghost peppers and shit, they don't look hot. Flaming Cheetos, they dye it with that bullshit red color, so you're like, ooh, look, flames. But everybody else comes at you subtle. They're like, yeah, go ahead and try this. And you bite it, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy God, I just shit out a grill. I mean, God damn, that's brutal. My asshole has grill marks from eating that. Jesus Christ, was that hot. So that's the thing. They bring it looks benign, but she bit it, and I saw her. I have a great picture of her eating it, and she bows her head and puts her hand over her forehead, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I've made this mistake yet again." But then she gets through that 10 seconds and just goes, "This is fucking amazing." Whereas she then holds up a bite for me to take, and I put it in my mouth and I start biting it, and it's like licking a fireplace. I mean, it's just, there's flavor to it. It's really good. It was kind of fruity and a little citrusy based, and it had an apple tinge to it. But holy fuck. I mean, once your lips start burning and your tongue starts burning, and it's just, it's burning like a flame, as Don Dokken would say. Because, whenever I talk about chicken, I got to reference Dokken and chicken and Dokken. That's how I work it. They're together. Well, I had ghost pepper chicken, and fucking George Lynch wouldn't even be able to handle it. And I'm eating it, and it's just, I just bowed my head, and I looked down, and you ever see the beginning of the old television series of Mission Impossible when they light the fuse? That's all it is. Every time I'm chewing it, I'm waiting for the fuse to just blow up my fucking head. And it was good. I had one bite of it. It was very good and flavorful, but I can't eat that shit. Jill fucking, of course, destroys it. At the end, I like ripped off some of the ghost pepper skin and tried to get to the chicken underneath, because I'm apparently an animal. But it worked. I found it and I tasted the chicken. It was really good. But I mean, there's still some sauce. My lips are burning, whatever. But that's what I love doing with her, is going on adventures and finding cool places. So we wound up splitting from there. And I should tell you this, we took a fucking Uber from the hotel, because we tried to check in and they were totally busy. And so we put our fucking luggage they were like, "Hey, we'll protect your luggage for you. Go ahead and put it back here." So we walk around the corner, and there's Cassie, who was the sales manager. She opens the door. She goes, "Yeah, just put your luggage in here." It's a fucking office. Like, I got my laptop. And not only is my laptop in the case, but it's in my bag, but also my external hard drive, my fucking 40-year-old boy hard drive, my iPod, all my cords and shit. Like, and Jill goes, "You don't want to leave that in here." I go, "Fuck no, I don't want to leave this in here." I go, "I don't even want to leave your suitcase in here. I got a shirt in there, for fuck's sake. I don't want to come back and the fucking staff is using your curling iron and wearing my fucking shirts." But I guess at some point you have to suspend your suspicion of the entire human race and hope that they won't rifle through your things. So we put our stuff in the waiting room. We called an Uber. And the first guy we ordered, we called a Lyft. First guy we ordered was a guy named Balasu or some shit. And we put in the address, and then he couldn't fucking find us. I do this, unfortunately, for a fucking quote-unquote living. I Uber and Lyft, so I know when things are fucking terrible. And I knew he was terrible from the jump. Dudes, I cannot imagine the relief people must feel when the name Mike comes up on their Uber or Lyft once they order me. Because every time I do it, it's fucking Zoltan or I always got to get some fucking Lord of the Rings character who drives me around. It's like, Jesus Christ, Gandalf. Okay, Aragorn, I'm not getting in your fucking Prius. And they're always just they're late, and then they're rude, and they don't know the fucking language. And I'm not that guy. Okay, I don't want to build a wall and get rid of all Uber drivers. But at the same fucking time, it would be nice to have some common courtesy or somebody who smiled. We got picked up by this guy Zoltan to take us to the fucking airport. And I go, "Do you know where you're going?" And he's like, "Yes." And he went a completely different way than I would have gone. And I just sit in the back seat, and I'm like, "Fucking Zoltan." Yeah, of course. You know why? You know why he doesn't know where we're going? Because he's busy crafting spells in his head. That's why. Because he's trying to get his wand recharged, and he's looking for the precious. Fuck you, man. Get me to the goddamn airport. I'm not looking for the ring. Sauron is not chasing us. Get me to the fucking airport, man. So Belisarius, or whatever the fuck his name was, Jaco Pastorius, whoever the fuck we ordered on Lyft, we see him. You can see, if you order an Uber or Lyft, you can watch their progress on the car. Like, you can see their little bug drive around, and he totally misses the fucking hotel. And he keeps driving. So I call him, and he's like, "Yeah, where are you?" I go, "I'm at the Comfort Inn. We put it in the phone." He goes, "Yeah, no, you put it in wrong." Well, that's shitty customer service right from the jump to tell me that I put it in wrong, motherfucker. Why don't you own this and tell me the fact that you don't know where the fucking streets of Minneapolis are going to take you, Belisarius? You know why? Because you think you're looking for the fucking Balrog. You're looking for two people at a fucking hotel. So, this guy drives to the Shire and fucking leaves us at the hotel. And I'm like, "Dude, fucking, you got to turn around." He's like, "Well, you know what? Just relax. I'll find you." And I hung up on him, and I go, "Cancel that ride." And Jill's like, "Yeah, I'm going to cancel it." I go, "Good, yeah, and order somebody else." Because, this guy's fucking missed this twice, and he's blaming it on me. I hate that shit. And also, when the fact that the guy can't speak English, but immediately tells me I'm wrong, I got no interest in getting into whatever the fuck you're driving. He's going to pull up in a fucking Yugo. So she cancels it. She orders a second guy. And this dude was named, in America, his name would be Shannon. But I'm sure he was like Shannon, because it was Shannan. And I'm sure it was Sha-nan, like John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, with that fucking apostrophe or a hyphen or a glyph or whatever the fuck you put in there, a semicolon. That guy needed a semicolon in his name. I'm sure it just wasn't on the keyboard when he had to enter it. Shannon. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm waiting for Bowser and the fat guy with the beard and a bowling shirt to pull up and go and drive me around. Shannon, get the fuck out of here. Do. Good night. Drop me off. You fuck. Drive a better car. So sure enough, I'm waiting for him. Shannon pulls up and we see it rolling. And dude, and also it comes up, it's a Ford Focus. What the fuck? Now, I don't know who to be more mad at. Fucking hyphen Shannon or the goddamn Lyft people for approving a Ford Focus. Do you know what that is? That's like pulling up in a Matchbox car and telling me to stand on the roof and you'll tow me there. Get the fuck out of here. You know what that is? Dude, chimps in the circus drive bigger cars when they're doing that fucking trick where they drive around and wave. Ford Focus is a tiny ass fucking car. You know, Ford Focus comes with a keychain. It's attached to the license plate so you can put it in your pocket instead of parking it at the fucking mall. That's a shit car, man. So the Ford Focus alone is a shit car. Shannon pulls up. Jill and I walk out. It's a gray car. It's missing 2 hubcaps. We go to get in it. We open the back door and we're just overwhelmed by the smell of bog. Like this guy had a marshland in his fucking car. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Disposing bodies? Is there going to be a gator? Some sort of fucking yellow snake is going to come up from under the seat, go up my fucking pant leg? This is gruesome. There's crumbs all over the floor. There's a cigarette wrapper on the floor. Not like the wrapper of a cigarette where you roll your own, because that might be kind of cool, like he was driving around some fucking Bat Masterson motherfuckers. But no, it's the cellophane and the silver fucking like packaging from the top. I know that from when I was a kid. My mom, you'd have to pull the cellophane off and then open that little side pack with the fucking silver foil. That's on the ground. And we get in the car. He doesn't say a fucking word to us. He doesn't, I mean, he's just completely quiet. He doesn't have the radio on, and his GPS is on the fucking seat next to him. He's not even got it in the little holder. He's got a Bluetooth in, and he just starts driving. So Jill is a bad flyer. She white knuckles in the plane, so she'll grab my arm. Well, dude, she's squeezing my arm harder in this car than she is on any plane we've ever been on, because as we're driving, we drive probably about 30 feet, and then we hear honk, and the whole car shakes. So I figure we hit something, man. He must have run over something or he took a speed bump too fast until we go another 30 feet. His wheel on his back axle is either not tight enough or there's something stuck in the axle, but every time he drives, every 30 feet, it goes every revolution of the tire, the car shakes and lurches to the left. And so Jill's holding my arm. She can't believe it. I've got the phone on, and I put in the destination address, that Revival with the delivers in that joint, if you forgot where we were fucking going. And sure enough, man, we fucking... the route is... It's 5 miles away from my hotel. He drives. He gets on the freeway. We're now 8 miles away. So he takes us 3 miles out of our fucking way, which adds money to the fare. I'm like, you dick. You fucking dick. Your car is filthy. You're funking all over the fucking place. And now you're going to try to steal money from me? You're the worst, Shannon. I understand you got to get some money to buy a fucking hyphen, but man, someone needs an apostrophe. Daddy needs a new apostrophe. Let's take the highway. Not to mention the fact that your car's going funk every 30 feet and you're going to go at high speed now? You're going to fucking accelerate? Really? I got to deal with that? So Jill keeps looking at me and she keeps mouthing, he's going on the freeway. He's going on. And I'm like, honey, I know. But I mean, I'm not gonna fucking pull over and get out. I'm gonna tough it out. If we die with Shannon. I'm riding or die. You know, ride or die with Shannon. That's what Lyft should be called in Minneapolis. Ride or die with Shannon. I'm the Rough Riders. I ride or die with fucking Shannon. I'm like fucking Fetty Wap or fucking Wiz Khalifa or any of those idiots. I'm riding or dying with Shannon. Don't. So we're on the freeway. Takes us 3 miles out of our way. Doesn't say a fucking word. Then he just pulls up in front of the thing and he's just like, thanks. We open the door and get out. And then Jill has to send a review like to Lyft. And I just told her, I go, just write terrible experience. Scared for our lives. Filthy car. Driver was stone silent. Took us 3 miles out of our way. Like literally all these bullet points. I said, don't flower it up at all. You got to type it like you're somewhere in a hospital bed or in a police station, scared out of your fucking mind because Shannon put the fear of Allah into you or whoever the fuck he talks to. And sure enough, the best thing is she said that and she sent it to Lyft. Within 15 minutes, they gave us a credit. Now, granted, they didn't give us our money back. They were like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry that happened. We're going to give you a $15 credit for your next Lyft ride. And in my head, I'm just like, well,
So you still got our fucking money, you assholes. That's like when season ticket holder people have to buy playoff tickets and they're like, hey man, we might make the playoffs. They write you in May and they're like, go ahead and give us your playoff ticket money so we can put that in the bank and collect interest on it for 5 months and then we'll refund it by fucking November. Assholes. So that's what Lyft did. I mean, it was a nice gesture that they wrote us immediately and they're like, we're really sorry. Oh my God, it wasn't up to our standards. We apologize. But at the same fucking time, they just kept the money and gave Jill, they gave us another Lyft ride, which is, I don't think fair. Whatever. But we still needed a ride home. So when we got out of fucking Revival, we ate the livers. We were burning. I mean, it was crowded and it was delicious, but holy fuck, man. When we ate, we finished, we walked. And we were going to walk around our neighborhood, but there wasn't really anything there in Minneapolis. So we called an Uber, took it back to the hotel, and tried to figure out what we were going to do with our lives. We knew we were going to the Twins game that night. And I was trying to coordinate with listeners. Cindy and Justin and Rob had contacted me. Rob Matsushita is a listener to the show, and he contacted me. He's like, hey, is something going on Wednesday night? Because here's what I do, folks. I tell you on the show that it's going to happen, but then I forget to put it on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I forget that people listen to the show like 4 days later. So people were writing me on Monday, and they're like, hey, what's going on in Minnesota? And I'm like, fuck, I just figured nobody was interested. Well, no, just people listen to the fucking show in 3 days, and then they hear it. Because I assume that all of you get right up and turn it on Thursday fucking morning. By the way, not this week, because this isn't fucking Thursday morning, because real life kicked me in the balls. So I go to the hotel. We try to coordinate with some people, and it turns out it's probably not going to work. But Rob Matsushita, he had written me, and on that morning, after I finished the first hour of this podcast, Stew Talk, I then called Matsushita at like 7:48 in the morning, and I even said that on his machine. I go, look, you're sleeping. You probably hate me, and it's weird enough that I'm calling you. Because I have his phone number because I did a film project for him a while ago. Chapel. Go look it up. I'm sure it's still on YouTube. It was a great series. But then Rob texted me back. He's like, I'm actually at work. And it's so great. Everybody's just like, what are we doing? And I'm like, here's my plans. And they're like, take care of yourself. Can't see you. I'm the fucking talent. Make time. Call in sick to work. Do something. Oh, you live 40 miles away? Well, then you shouldn't have ever written me trying to make fucking plans with me. God damn it. Yeah, that's right. It's your fucking fault. So Jill and I go back to the hotel. And like I said, we know we're going to the game. Trying to coordinate with people, not working. So she's like, well, why don't we can go to the Mall of America and kill time there and then take the train. Because we don't have a car. We don't want to Uber and Lyft. We want to take the free fucking shuttle from the hotel. It takes you either to the Mall of America or to the airport. And then she and I have this discussion. I said, well, because they will take you to the Mall of America. They'll pick you up from the Mall of America. They'll take you to the airport. They pick you up from the airport. She goes, well, tomorrow, here's what we do. She goes, why don't we just have them take us to the Mall of America, and then we'll take the train all over and we'll look at the town, and then we'll go back to the mall. They'll have them pick us up and then take us to the airport. I said, well, they're not going to do that. She said, why not? I go, well, they go to the Mall of America and they go to the airport. She goes, yes, they can take us from the Mall of America to the airport. I go, no. I said, that's not how it fucking works. They will pick you up at the hotel and they will take you to the airport. Or they will pick you up at the airport and they will take you to the hotel. They will not pick you up at the airport and take you to the Mall of America. She goes, why not? They go to both places. They go to the airport and they go to the Mall of America. I go, yeah, but they don't work for you. They work for the Comfort Inn. And there are other people who want to get from the airport to the hotel. So while they're taking us from the hotel to the Mall of America, and then while you think they're going to take us from the Mall of America to the airport, there are probably people at the hotel who want to go to the airport, and they're going to wonder why the fuck they're taking us from the Mall of America to the goddamn airport. They go back and forth. They don't go side. They don't triangle. They go from here to there and there to here. They don't go from here to here and there to there. And I kept trying to explain it. And the more I kept trying to explain it, she'd be like, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. If they go to the Mall of America and all of a sudden, I just wanted to go third base. Like in the middle of the entire conversation, I wanted to go third base. I don't know, third base. Because it was just who's on first at that point. And I was laughing and she was laughing, but it was that thing where she could not, I kept going, look, you're right. Ostensibly, you're right. However, I'm telling you, they're going to say we don't go from the Mall of America to the airport. We only go from the airport to the Comfort Inn and the Comfort Inn to the Mall of America. We don't bring the other two. Never the twain shall meet. I said, but I understand that in theory, you're right. If they go to those places, why they can't go from the one to the other? But really, they're a hotel-based operation, and you're not staying at the Mall of America. You're not staying at the airport. You're staying at the Comfort Inn, and that's where they will take you, and that's where they'll bring you from. And she goes, well, I don't understand it. That doesn't make sense. I go, exactly, but that's the way things are done. Now, the funny thing is we talked about that for about 48 minutes rather than calling the desk and asking if they would take us from the Mall of America to the airport, which we could have done. But instead, we killed time in the fucking room and debated it and had fun. So, we decided to go to the mall, and Jill's not a mall person, man. Like, I mean, I got to think, I'm not really, if you don't have money to spend, the mall's not the place to be. You're just a zombie at that fucking point. It's like Dawn of the Dead. At the end of Dawn of the Dead, when the zombies show up at the fucking mall, and the guy even says, this is just their brains firing neurons that they used to do. It's just latent consumerism making them go to a place they remember. That's it. And when you go to the mall, even the Mall of America, we were like, how the fuck does this place survive? We walked in, and I didn't even know there were this many retail outlets, but then there's really not. We fucking walk into the Mall of America, which is this just giant ghost town white elephant throwback to the 80s. There's a Victoria's Secret right by our entrance. So we go in there and we look around for a while. And I wind up, anytime I see Jill pick up a thong, I wind up fucking hard in the store. I'm just like, yeah, this is good. Is there a dressing room? And she's looking at things. I'm like, well, I like this, and I kind of like this, and you'd look good in this, and you'd look amazing in this. And she's like, yeah, I would. I really, because she's a lingerie person, and holy fuck. So, but the thing is, there's that Victoria's Secret. Then as we walk around this fucking mall, there's like 3 other Victoria's Secrets, because that's how they do it. They triangulate you, where in case you go, well, I don't want to carry this shit through the whole mall. Well, that's okay. When you walk to the other side, there's another one. Go get it there and fucking buy it on your way out. There were like 4 lids. You know that hat joint that sells fucking hats? I'm like, dude, what the... That's the fucking Holocaust in this town. I mean, everybody just must be wearing a baseball hat because there's so many they're fucking pitching on you. And they got the Central Amusement Park, but even that was just death. There was no sound of children playing. There was just this whirring of gears. That's it. Just the whirring of gears coming out of fucking Nickelodeon land. There was a Legoville. And then there was like a Packers cheese shop. It was just, and there's a store that sells just socks. And I don't know what I feel worse for. The owners of the store that has the concept that sells just socks, or the 3 women working in there. 3 women. 3. Is there a run on Argyles in Minnesota that I don't fucking know about? Why are there 3 people at the fucking sock joint? That makes 0 sense. And they're just lonely. Like, you walk into these shops, we walked into 3 different candy shops, and they're like, would you like a free sample? And they gave it to us. And of course, we don't buy anything. We wander the fuck out. And I don't know how they pay the retail people. They must be making $5 an hour. Who takes that fucking job? It's just loneliness under a dome. Such a terrible fucking place. And we laughed. We had fun. But at the same fucking time, it was just arduous. We walked by Haagen-Dazs. They're giving away free ice cream. I mean, like, that was the joint. Everything. I had free cheese, free ice cream. But the time I walked out of there, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I'm full on free garbage. I don't know if I'll even eat at the park. So then Jill and I sat down. We were trying to figure out the next day in Minneapolis because we were going to rent a car, because we wanted to go to Paisley Park and we were going to go to the Purple Rain House. Dude, it was an awesome plan for Wednesday. So comes to be about 5:30. We're like, we should get on the train. So we stopped. Like I said, we got that Haagen-Dazs free ice cream, and that hit me like a fucking ton of bricks because I'm a fat guy and I'm not supposed to be eating that kind of shit like that much. So I ate the ice cream and I got all spinny, had to sit down. I was like sweaty. And there's nothing that makes you feel like a 48-year-old failure than making an ice cream cone knock your dick in the dirt. That's fucking terrible. You're just like, Jesus Christ, I just ate vanilla tangerine shortbread and now I can't move. What the fuck happened to me? I used to be beautiful, man. But we sat there and I ate the cone and then spit it. Dude, that was just a mess. So Jill is sitting there watching her fucking life partner, 48 years old, fucking fall apart in front of her eyes. Again, that's got to be sexy. And we get through it finally, and I get a second wind. Because I tell you, from the beginning, I had been up since 5:15 in the fucking morning. Technically, I'd been up since 2:30. And then I only got like another hour of sleep, and then I started fucking recording. So, I mean, I had been awake from 5:15, recorded the show, went and got her. We flew. We were there doing this. We're at the mall. Now we're still going to the game all night. So, we go to find the train. We walk out, and it's pretty cool. It's like a rail system that connects, obviously that's my regret, man. I would go to cities and rent a car, and then I'd pay $60 to park at the fucking hotel, and I'd pay $25 a day. Dude, if there's a system that has light rail, you can get all over the fucking city all the time. I loved it in New York. That thing where you can just get anywhere, anytime, and then get home anytime you want. It's fantastic. We did it in San Francisco. We rode the light rail to the fucking Oakland game. I mean, we rode the BART. I mean, man, fucking amazing. I love subways because I love cities, and both she and I, we love cities. We just love the feel of it. And she especially, because she lives in a fucking cow town, like I said, man. It's literally her house, and then there's just like 4 Amish guys standing around going, hey, when are you going back to California so we can bother your girlfriend? So we get on the train, we ride through Minneapolis, and in the beginning it's not so exciting, but then you get downtown, there's some interesting architecture. It was fun. It was good. We loved it. We get to the field, and that's a cool-ass thing. There's a stop at Target Field. Literally, you get off the train, and it's probably, I would say, 100 steps to the gate of the fucking park. And this weird honor system, like Jill even said it too, you buy your ticket to get on the train, and then you ride the train to wherever. When you get off, you just got to show your ticket to a cop. or like a train rail guy. Not a conductor like all aboard, like one of those old timey dudes, but there's just dudes and we're going to the games. There's like 60, 70, 80, 100 people flooding up and they just hold their tickets up and the cops just nod. Like they're not looking at the dates. They're just seeing that you have a slip. Dude, I could travel all over Minnesota for a month on one fucking ticket. I'm telling you that nobody even really looked at it. Nobody. We walked off. We head up to Target Field. We get in and it's beautiful. It's just a gorgeous park. And she and I will tell you this though, man, it was fucking cold. And I had all you Minnesota people because I posted it on Facebook and I'm talking about how cold it is and you're busting my balls. You're like, oh man, it says it's 52, man. I'd be in shorts in this weather. Well, yes, I get it. All right, you're tougher than me, first of all. Second of all, dude, I grew up in the Midwest. I used to wash my hair in the morning and go to the bus stop, and by the time I got there, it was fucking frozen. I never wore a coat in the winter because I didn't want to carry it. I fucking hated it. So I get cold weather and I can survive in it. My blood's gone thin since I went to California, but dude, when you're sitting for 3 hours in a ballpark with a 20-mile-an-hour wind in your face, I don't give a fuck if it's 52 or 92. It's still a little fucking uncomfortable. So she and I, and of course she bought, like I said, she bought $3 tickets. So guess where we're sitting? They have the scoreboard, and we're actually on a Carl Wallenda line suspended from the scoreboard to the two twins shaking hands in center field. That's where we're at. Holy fuck, were we out there? God damn it. We actually sat on a foul ball that was leaving the stadium. That's where our seats were. It was fucking strange, but it was good for a second. We sat in like section 320, but it didn't fucking matter because, again, the Twins blow. I mean, I think they're like 8-100 at this point, and which is weird because they've only played 36 games. So we just sat wherever the fuck we wanted. We went up into the third deck, and the wind started, and we started moving and looking, and we wanted to get some photographs, and, you know, I'm holding her hand, and she's freezing. And I'm like, well, we could just, you know, if you wanted to sit on my lap for this thing, we could probably stay warm. And she's just like, Deadspin. We kept looking for seats, and I'm holding her hand, and she's freezing. We watched 2 innings there, and it was just, it's a beautiful park. And what we usually do is we go to these parks, we watch the first couple of innings, then we just walk around and explore. Because again, like I said, I don't give a fuck about Twins Orioles. All I get, this is what I want to see when I go to a home park. I want to see, you know, I want to see the whole park layout, and I want to see the home team at a home run so I can see whatever the fuck bullshit their scoreboard does and what happens. And I especially wanted it to happen in Minnesota because I knew it was going to happen. But then we're watching this pitcher's duel, and it's freezing outside, and like a guy walks for the Orioles, and the Kevin Gossman is on the mound for the Orioles. He keeps throwing to first base, like to try to keep this guy honest. It's like, dude, don't just get this fucking game over with. I mean, we're in the freezing cold. Nobody cares. The Twins are awful. Just put a stake through their fucking horrible blue and red hearts and move on to Baltimore and go have some crab soup and be an 18-14 ball club. It's fine. Win this game. But they're just that weird bunting and I mean, dude, awful. It was a pitcher's duel. But it was worth it to see like Manny Machado. And again, we're just there to see the fucking ballpark. So then Jill and I, she's like, I'm so cold, honey. I can't do this anymore. I can't. And I'm like, that's fine. Where are we going? She goes, well, let's walk around or let's find somewhere else. And I go, great, because we're going to explore the whole park anyway. So it's like the third inning, and we walk down from the top deck. And we walk into the second deck, and we're looking. And I'm like, are you hungry yet? She said no, because we had that big lunch. But that was a main goal. Was that we also go to the ballpark to eat the weird food. Like in San Francisco, I get a fucking crab sandwich. And I don't know if you know this, there's a park by my house that serves stew. Stupid. So I knew there was a booth, like there was a concession stand because we Googled it. And I knew we were going to fucking go. So we're walking around, we're having fun. And we find a pub that's enclosed and you can get a drink in it and you can watch the game. Well, there's barely any people in it. We go in, dude, we're directly behind home plate in the second deck. And we're right on the window. So I get Jill a beer, I get me a bottle of water. We start fucking watching the game. And it was nice. You know, we're warm. We're having a good time. We're laughing. And, you know, the Orioles score some runs. We see a 2-run bomb from Machado. And, you know, it's 3-1 at this point. Orioles. And it comes to be about the bottom of the 5th inning. Oh, I should tell you this, too. Then this fucking girl comes up and she's like, she's standing close to me, which was weird. And I didn't know if it was for warmth or because it wasn't that crowded. And then all of a sudden I start feeling she's rubbing my thigh, like my left thigh. And Jill's on my right. And I'm leaning on a table and Jill is too. And I look at Jill and I go, this woman's kind of close to me, right? And she goes, she is. I go, is she, can you take a look and see if she's rubbing my thigh? And she goes, what are you talking about? I go, I don't know. I think she's rubbing my thigh. She goes, honey, She goes, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts like about threesomes and stuff, and that's kind of that's the message. I go, what do you mean? She goes, they will pick the person they want and they'll send the girl over and then they'll try to, and I go, shut up. Just will you take a look and see what the fuck is happening here, please? And she takes like 3 steps backward and she goes, it's her purse. And I'm like, well, of course it is. But at the same time, it was pretty fucking weird because she's like, her shoulder's almost touching mine, and then this thing is like keeps rubbing my thigh. Well, it's because she's moving her arm and her purse is grazing my leg, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't interpret signals very well. So Jill's then she's making fun of me for that. I'm like, I don't know. She's fucking rubbing. Something's rubbing my leg. That's why I sent you to check. I sent you to do some recon because I didn't want to be that guy who goes, oh my God, madam, stop touching my leg. Because then I'm just a fucking douchebag from England in the 20s. Hello, with a fucking handlebar mustache and a top hat. Excuse me, ma'am. I do believe that you are grazing my femoral artery with your fingernails. Shut the fuck up. So we stay there in the pub. We get to be about the 5th inning. And Jill says, hey, you want to go eat? I said, well, I want to walk around the park and definitely check things out. She goes, well, okay, well, just let me know when you want to go. I said, well, whenever, baby. I know you're cold. And that's the start of our dance. That's the, hey, I'm going to do this because I think you want to do it, Jill. Well, okay, I'm going to do this because I think you want to do it, Mike. And neither one of us will say the thing that we want to do because God forbid we ever assert ourselves in any way so as not to offend or unnerve the other person across from us. And we've done it forever. I try to make sure that she's comfortable. She tries to make sure that I'm comfortable. And you know what that results in? Nobody being fucking comfortable. I try to take care of her. She tries to take care of me. And then we wind up butting heads because neither one of us wants to be taken care of in that way. And like I said earlier in the show, man, when I talked about her coming home from work and I dote on her and I hover and I lurk and I'm like, what can I do for you? Can I rub your neck? Can I do something? Can I do this? And it's because I'm scared to fucking death that she's going to think for 1 second that I don't want her. I don't know why that's inside me, but it is. Actually, bullshit. I do know why that's inside me. Because, I was married and with someone for 20 years and they went away. And that happened. And I recognized that I was a fucking shithead. Like, I was not the best husband. I wasn't great. Now, granted, she was fucking bananas a lot of the time. But I can only own what I did. And I know that I was not the best person I could possibly be. And in my opinion, it led to what happened. So I am doing everything I can to make sure that shit doesn't happen again. Including changing who I am fundamentally as a person. So this person will love me. Without having the confidence that Jill loves me to be the guy that I am, I try to be everything that she could possibly want. So the dance starts. Do you want to go get something to eat? Well, I kind of do, but I mean, you're warm up here, honey, because I know she was cold, so I don't want to go back out into the cold. But she knows I want to look at the ballpark. So without one of us just going, yeah, man, let's just go. It's, well, do you want to go? Well, I don't know. Are you cold? Well, I don't know. Are you hungry? It's fucking stupid. And it's permeated almost our entire relationship. Well, do you want to do this? Well, I don't know. Do you want to do this? Well, we should do this. Well, I don't know. Do this. Well, maybe we should do this. Well, I'll do this for you. And it's just frustrating because it's two people dancing around doing what the fuck they want because they don't want to offend the other person when it's fucking unrealistic. You can't live like that. You sometimes offend the other person. You sometimes assert what you want. And if the other person doesn't want you to do that, then if they say, hey, look, I don't really want to do that, then as a respectful person and a life partner, you go, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Then we don't have to do that. But I firmly believe if Jill's like, hey, what do you want to do today? I said, I don't know. Why don't I think I might just shoot myself in the head with a fucking 357 Magnum. And she'd go, okay, well, that's cool. I'll do it too. Just because she doesn't want to make me uncomfortable. And vice versa. If she's like, hey, I'm going to go step in a bear trap. I'm going to go, well, I'm going to step in too because I'm just as good. And I can show you that I can do the same thing that you do. And look, I like bear traps too. Snap. That feels fucking great. Why didn't I do the other one? Fuck. Calm down and be happy. So the dance starts and it's subtle. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know. I kind of wanted to see the ballpark and get something to eat, but I know you're cold. Well, I'm not that cold. I know you want to go eat, but yeah, it is cold. And that's the thing that I always hear. I hear the second part. I don't hear her say, well, yeah, I know you want to see the ballpark. I hear her go, yeah, but it is cold, which is to me a signal that she still wants to stay in the fucking room. It's dumb. I should say what I want. And if she doesn't want that, she should say what she doesn't want. And then we can come to an accord because we're in love and we're together and we're a couple. And what the fuck are we doing? So it's the subtlety of the dance that starts, and I recognize it. But I finally go, well, look, it is cold out, but I kind of want to go walking around. She goes, okay, honey, well, let's go walk around. So we walk outside, and it is windy, and we take about 8 steps, and she's like, ugh, and she ducks into the pro shop because it's so cold. And so we go in the pro shop and we're looking at stuff, and it's fun because again, we're exploring the whole park, but she's looking at throw blankets, which are $40. And like she wouldn't even buy a Packers throw blanket for $40, let alone a fucking Twins one. But it was awesome because this is the thing we do. We go and explore. We look at the pro shop. We look at everything. So we're walking, and it's cold, and I'm holding her, and she's like, well, I'm going to duck into the restroom. We go down to, we're on a section, we're in like the concourse 2. We want to go down to the first section because where we're going is section 114. That's where all the interesting food is. They got like Cuban sandwiches and fucking, knockwurst and shit like that. I just flailed my hand and I hit the windscreen. If that made a noise, I apologize. In the middle of fucking talking, I just punched the microphone. So that's where all the interesting food is. So she gives me a kiss and she's like, I said, I'll be right out here. And she ducks into the restroom. And it's fucking awesome. We're having a great time. And she comes out of the restroom and we go to walk. We're watching the game too, but we're also looking at the stadium and it's open and you're getting different visions of the scoreboard. And I like to get photos too. I take a picture from behind the plate. You can see the whole lay of the land. So she comes out of the restroom and I go, okay, the place we want to go is over here. It's Andrew Zimmern's cantina or whatever the fuck. I go, that's, honey, where they got your cucumber lemonade. And that's where they got that bacon pork belly sandwich with jalapeno jelly. They got like a Vietnamese chicken sandwich or a Korean chicken sandwich. I go, all this fucking cool stuff. So we go walking over there and she looks at the stuff and I go, honey, they had that cucumber lemonade. You say you want to try? She goes, yeah, no, I'm way too cold to drink that. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I might still get it, but I'm not sure. And then I said, well, they've got I said, which do you want to try? Do you want to try the bacon sandwich or do you want to try the Korean chicken sandwich? And she says, well, they got the food right out there on the counter. And I look in the back and they did. They had prepared food on the counter. Like the sandwiches were up and people just have to turn and grab it. And she goes, yeah, I don't know if I want to eat something that's already made. I said, okay. I said, well, we could tell them to make it fresh or something. She goes, yeah, if you told them to make it fresh, that'd be fine. But she goes, honestly, I'm not sure I want to eat something that's already made. And I go, okay, well, we can go look for something else. Because here's the thing. I wanted the fucking pork belly sandwich, or I wanted the Korean chicken sandwich, and I wanted some cucumber lemonade. But Jill's paying. And this is also part of the dance. If she's going to pay, I want to make sure that she's going to have some. I don't want to just order a fucking $12 sandwich and then I'm eating it in front of her like a fucking idiot. Now look, is that my problem? Yeah, probably, because she's not going to care about it. She always says, hey man, don't worry. It's okay. Honey, don't worry. I got you. We're fine. Everything's great. And everything is great until it isn't. I want to avoid it going to where it isn't. So, to me, her saying, I don't really want something if it's on the shelf means that she doesn't want to eat there. Now, I want to eat there, but because she's paying, I'm not going to order the food because I'm not going to eat it if she pays if she's not going to have any. Again, is that my problem? Probably. Should I just relax and just order it? Yes, I should. Except, we've had discussions in the past and we've had arguments and we've had fights blow up and then finances get brought up. And I don't know what to do when that happens because I have no fucking answer because I was told everything was okay. And that's why I feel comfortable enough to go ahead and basically have her pay for my fucking life. Whenever I let my guard down and I'm like, okay, this is cool, let's do this, then we'll have an argument and finances come up. And then I'm just like astounded because I thought everything was fine. I was told it was okay. And now it's getting tossed in my face. And that's my sore spot. And I've told you in the past that I've just fucking disappeared or run away or it's because I have no answer for that. I have no fucking answer for that. We've had fights and it's come up and finances are thrown in my face. And I'm like, and that's when I just want to run because I have no answer for you. Everything was okay. I thought everything was okay and everything is great. And she's the best and I love her until we have one of those fights and then that gets thrown in my face, and it's just like acid in my fucking eyes and in my throat. And I don't, because I trusted that everything was okay. And then in a fight, I find out it's not. And she's worried. Well, I didn't know you were worried. If you were worried, you should have told me and I wouldn't have done this. So that permeates our entire relationship when we go anywhere and we're going to do anything. And I don't want to spend her money because it is her fucking money. I didn't work for the last 5 weeks. After my car accident, I went by her. We had to find a car. I got the settlement. I gave her a chunk because I owe her so much fucking money. It's ridiculous. And then I bought a car. I went home and I drove Lyft and Uber for a week. And then I came back here. Long distance is tough, man. And she even says, hey, look, you should work while I'm in town. Well, Bucket, if she comes to town for 3 fucking days and I'm going to go drive 3 12-hour fucking days, that's ridiculousness. She doesn't come to California for me to go drive. What's she going to do? Sit by the pool? Which is fine. She likes it. But then she's in my house watching TV in fucking California. But this is the thing. If we had a real life relationship, it would be okay for her to go to work for 12 hours and me to sit at home, and she wouldn't worry about it because you know what? We'd have the next day and the next day and the next day. It would be okay for me to maybe go work a 12-hour shift or an 8-hour shift and then come home to her and go to dinner because we'd have the next day and the next day and the next day. But the thing is, we live our life in 3-day bites. We live our life in 7-day bites. So to waste 1 minute of those 7 days driving fucking drunks around on Uber while she's sitting in my apartment is a sin. It's a fucking sin. But then, unfortunately, I wind up drowning in debt and she comes to the rescue and she helps me out because she's fucking loving and terrific and she takes care of me. But then I feel like a fucking invalid. I feel like I fucking owe her. I feel like I'm a guy who needs to fucking carry his fucking weight. I don't feel like a man. Remember I talked about feeling like a pussy in my fucking California outfit, or my Wisconsin outfit and the slippers and the fucking pajama pants sitting in her house? It's because I'm not productive. I'm not doing a fucking thing. She's working a 12-hour shift. I'm sitting home in slippers. Who the fuck am I, Hazel? Get the fuck off your ass and make some fucking money and contribute to this fucking relationship. And I tell her I feel like that and she smiles and she kisses me and she goes, don't be weird. But then we have a fight and I have to hear about money. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I thought everything was okay. I finally let my guard down and I ordered shaving cream from Amazon on your fucking card. And it was beautiful and it was great and everything was fine until we wind up in an argument. And then you say, hey, by the way, this money is due. Fuck. I love you. You love me. But Jesus Christ, it's. So the dance starts at the fucking concession stand. And she's like, well, I don't want to eat the food that's on the shelf that's cold. So what I read that as code for, I don't want to eat. And I'm not going to eat if I have to pay $12 for food that she's not going to bite. So I go, okay, well, we can look for something else. So we take a walk and we go over and look at the sausages. And I'm like, would you want a sausage? She's like, nah. And I don't want a brat either because I can get a brat in fucking Milwaukee. And I go, you know what? They have Cuban sandwiches. They got turkey stuff. She's like, I don't, really, honestly, none of that appeals to me. I'm like, all right. And she just goes, yeah, I don't. She goes, I know you want to eat that stuff over there, so we should just go over there. I go, yeah, but honey, you don't want to eat that stuff. You already said that it's cold or whatever. I go, she goes, well, if they made it fresh, I go, well, I would tell them to make it fresh. And we're on the concourse. We're in the middle of a baseball stadium having this discussion. And I said, I would tell them to make it fresh. She goes, yeah, well, she goes, honestly, I'm not even really hungry. So what the fuck are we doing down here? Tell me you weren't hungry. We didn't even have to leave the pub. We could have walked the concourse and looked around. We could go out to the outfield. We could do anything. We could have fun and go look at the scoreboard. That's fine. But I'm coming down to eat because A, I am hungry. And B, I thought she wanted to try something. But C, I'm not going to order any food if she's not going to eat. And again, this is the problem. I'm not going to order food because she's going to pay for it and then not eat it. And I feel guilty. But she feels guilty not buying me food that I want. And then we fucking butt heads. And it happens all the fucking time. And that's what I mean when I dote and I hover and I try to take care of her and I try, like, you're not hungry? Then I won't eat. And she that drives her fucking crazy. She's like, that makes no sense. Why the fuck would you not eat just because I'm not hungry? And she doesn't understand it's because I don't want to pay $8 for a hamburger while you don't eat because I'm using your money. Because I'm not paying my way. Because I'm a failure. That's what it gets to. It gets to the bottom of the pyramid and the roots of the matter and what's inside my fucking gut. I'm a failure. And I love you and I trust you and you're taking care of me and helping me. But at the same fucking time, you have to look at me as half a fucking man because I am not carrying my weight. And that permeates everything because then when she gets attention from other guys or other guys are swarming in or they're trying to talk to her or they're trying to do it, I figure that one of them is going to have a good job one day and she's just going to fucking leave. Because I don't trust it. And I've told her that, and I've bared my soul, and she looks at me with sadness in her eyes and says, I'm sorry I haven't made you feel loved enough to where you think that you can just be comfortable. And I'm like, no, it's not about you. It's about me. It's not your job to make me feel loved enough. Inside of me, I'm waiting for you to flee. I'm waiting for you to leave. And I know inside of you, you're waiting for the same fucking thing. We have this shorthand now where we just look at each other and we say, don't be weird. We stole it from that guy in fucking New York when I was going to get my hair cut. He looked at me and he just said, don't be weird. And it was the best advice in the fucking world. So Jill and I say it to one another, don't be weird. She'll go, I'm weird. I go, don't be weird. Same thing to me. But it doesn't matter because in the moment we don't remember it. We just don't remember it. So I don't want to order food because she's going to pay for it and she's not going to eat it. And she wants to get me food, because she doesn't want me to be uncomfortable or hungry, but I don't have to eat. I'm eating because it's fun to try something new with her. And who knows when we'll be back in Minnesota? Believe me, I ate fucking 80 pounds of chicken livers and a fucking tainted ice cream cone. Do you think I really need a bacon fucking jalapeno jelly sandwich? I don't think so. But it was fun. And that's another one of my problems. I equate food with fun. That's why I'm a fucking bloated motherfucker with Hindenburg on the side of my goddamn body just waiting to crash into fucking flames. So she says, I'm not really hungry. So I hear that. And I mean, in my head, I'm like, all right, well, if you're not really hungry, then why did you even say, I don't want to order a sandwich if it's on the shelf and cold? That indicated to me that you were hungry. But now if you're not hungry, you should have just told me you were hungry. And again, that's the snowball rolls downhill because I am a fucking mental patient. So I just look at her and I go, you're not hungry? I go, okay. I go, well, honey, that's fine. We don't have to eat. Let's just go over here. And she snaps. And she goes, oh my God, honey, why are you doing this? We just had a talk where you shouldn't do something like that. And I go, honey, I'm not. And she goes, no. She goes, if you want to eat, eat. I'm telling you, I'm not hungry, but it doesn't mean that I have to eat because you're hungry. Why are you doing that? You don't have to get from me. And she's yelling at me on the concourse at a baseball game around 20 strangers. People looked. And she's 5 feet tall. I'm 6'2". She looks like Gunther Gable Williams hitting a fucking lion in the nose with a rolling fucking newspaper and making him sit on a fucking chair. And I made a pact with myself before this trip. I said, I'm not going to get mad because she's seen me ugly mad before, recently. And so I said, don't get mad. There's no reason to be angry. Don't get mad. There's no reason to be angry. This woman loves you. You love her. Relax. But when I'm getting fucking excoriated, and that's strong, but she's got bass in her voice. She's yelling. There's no two ways around it. She's yelling at me in front of people on a concourse, and I'm just kind of, but I wasn't going to scream back. I wasn't going to do that. And so I just went, yes. She goes, do you understand? Like, why do you, I go, okay. I said, okay. She goes, but why do you do, and I go, it's okay. It's fine. And she goes, but you don't, and she's still yelling, and I go, okay, I understand. Yes, I understand. You're right. Yes, I understand. She goes, Jesus. And then I take her hand and I go walking over there because I'm just going to buy a fucking sandwich now. But in reality, I'm not even hungry anymore. I'm pissed. And I'm trying not to be angry. We're walking. We take like 5 steps. And she goes, what are you doing? Like, where are we going now? And I just looked at her and I go, we're going to go over and get the sandwich. Or what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? She goes, I want you to do what you want to do without worrying about me. It's just ridiculous. And I said, Jill, you're yelling at me in a baseball stadium. Like in front of people are looking. And she goes, I'm yelling at you. And she goes, oh yeah, of course. It's always me. Blame me. I said, I'm not, there's no blame here. But you're yelling. She goes, I'm yelling. Fine. She walks away from me. I'm just standing there. She walks over to watch the game. And now I don't know whether to go get a sandwich. I don't know whether to do a backflip. I don't know whether to punch my fucking fist through a cinder block. I don't know. I don't know. Because the dance has begun and we are fully into it. And now I know, because I've seen her like this, there's no getting her out of this. She has now decided that she's going to have a terrible time the rest of the day. Now, when I say that to her, she'll go, you're wrong. I'm not mad. But I'm getting one-word answers and she won't even look at me. I've done this. It's happened so many times. So I walk over to her And I stand next to her. And she's got her hands in her pockets. So I have my hands in my pockets. Because, we're not 50 years old or anything. We're staring out at the field. And a few minutes go by and I lean forward and I said, hey, do you want to go sit in these seats here? I'm fine here. Well, yeah, but we could probably sit closer. I'm warm here. It's fine. Thanks. And so I'm standing next to her. And she says, you're actually kind of smushing me here. Like, you're really close. And I look at her like, come on. What are we doing? So I take a step to my left. Now I'm blocking an aisle. And I can't block the aisle. So I kind of scooch over a little bit and I look at her and I go, Jill, can you just be happy? Can we just get past this, please? She goes, I'm fine. I go, but you're not. I go, you won't look at me. It's one word answers. I go, honey, we're having a great day. She goes, yeah, but no, you blame me. I yell at everybody. Apparently I yell at you. And I go, listen to me. I go, it's fine. Can we be happy? Can we have a good time? Can we just shake this off? I'm fine. But you're not. You're not looking at me. You won't talk to me. And now it's misery. I don't know why we're choosing misery. And she goes, I'm fine. I told you I'm fine. I go, I know, but you won't sit with me. You won't look at me. Your hands are, and she goes, I'm fine. I told you. What? I'm not mad. And I go, honey, you're not. And she goes, now you're yelling at me. You're yelling at me and everybody's looking and you're yelling at me. Now, is that what you want? You want to yell at me and people, and I go, oh, I'm not yelling at all. I'm trying to talk to you here. Well, no, but I only yell at you. You're right. You're a good guy. I only yell at you. She won't even look at me. So I'm standing next to her and she does this thing where she pretends that I'm too close and she like squinches into the smallest possible space. This is the shit that happens when I come to bed with her. We'll have a fight and she'll go to bed and she will literally lay on the edge of a king-sized bed and give me the rest of it. When normally, she sleeps in my arms and legs. I call it my cage. We'll face each other and I throw my arm over her shoulders and I cinch her in tight around her waist and I got my leg thrown over her hips. That's my cage and that's where she belongs. When we fight, she literally goes to the outskirts of the king-size bed and leans on it. She might even have her feet on the floor. I don't fucking know. I'm too busy fucking sighing and wondering what the fuck got us into this situation in the first place again. And silence is death, man. So when she just stands there next to me, I mean, she's all I got. And she's stronger than me because she would go 2 days without talking to me and be fine with it. I mean, not fine with it. She'd be miserable in her stomach, but she won't ever break. It's like when we went to that concert. We're on the fucking rail and those people are bitching at us and fighting and they're hitting me. And she looks at me and she goes, literally in the middle of it, she just goes, they're not going to win this. Well, who's winning? I came to watch a show and laugh. Now I'm a human battering ram to make sure you can watch a show. I love you, but it's okay to lose one. It's okay to lose one to me. So she makes herself small and I'm standing next to her and I'm smushing her. Obviously, you know me, folks. I'm a notorious smusher. Not only that, I'm the notorious smusher. I'm absolutely the notorious S.M.U.S.H.E.R. That's me, goddammit. So I can't stand to the left of her because I'm in the aisle. So I take a step backwards. I stand basically behind her and to her left. I'm back into the left. She's really fucking lucky I wasn't the fucking mob. Because that would have been Dealey fucking Plaza all over again. So then here's the thing. Again, it's all the game. It's the dance. So then I stand back into the left of her and I see her shake her head. Literally like I pulled away, like I went away. She just shakes her fucking head and I lean forward. And again, this is the problem. She's hypersensitive to every movement I make and I'm hypersensitive to every movement she makes. When I saw her shake her head, I should have just gone, oh man, who cares? But instead I leaned forward. This is what I did. I leaned forward and I go, I am not leaving you. I'm directly behind you. I just can't block the aisle. And you said I'm smushing you if I'm next to you. So I took one step backwards and one step to the left. I'm still here. Why the fuck do I get to tell her that? And why the fuck do I have to be in jail in a goddamn ballpark? We're there to have fun. This was 30 seconds over a sandwich. But this has happened a bunch of times where we'll have one of these flash up arguments and it goes away. And then I'm like, okay, are we okay now? And she won't talk to me for 5 hours. And I'll say, look, I love you. I'll take your hand. We came up with this code. Take my hand. Take my hand. That's the code. Hey, take my hand. We're spinning off here. It's okay. I love you. Well, about 5 weeks ago, we had a fight at her house, and it's probably the worst fight we've ever had. And I went ballistic. He showed up. Mike showed up, and it was really bad. And she said, take my hand, and I said, no. And she said, take my hand. I go, I will never take your fucking hand again. I said it right in her face. Stormed out of her house, got in her car. She's holding on to me to try to get me to not drive away. It was fucking gruesome. I pulled a window shade like I was going to go out a window. What the fuck am I? Fucking reverse cat burglar? Fuck you, idiot. Why don't you face your emotions like a grown-up? But there's flashpoints. We both have flashpoints, and they set us off. So I literally apologized for backing up. Just because I'm trying to make the situation work. Because again, I have her and she has me. And when she leaves me, I got nothing. Especially in the middle of a fucking ballpark. And so I always come to her and I go, look, don't do this. It's okay. I love you. And so I'm standing behind her, basically. And then I walk up and I go, I'm going to go get something to eat. She goes, fine. And I walk away. And my stomach hurts. And I'm just sad and pissed and angry. And I want to scream. But what I really want to do is I just want to pick her up and hug her. And go, will you stop, please? Will you please? We had a fight once. And I'm in the first really terrible fight we ever had. It was, and I used all my tricks, man. I used all my, I don't care, you can go away. I used all my laughing and like, get the fuck out. I used every that thing I've done my whole life where I scab over and pretend that nothing bothers me. It's what made my brother Lenny want to punch me in the face our whole lives together. And I employed every trick in the book, but I didn't realize I was doing it to somebody whose judo is so much stronger than mine. She and I are the same person. She's just better at it. So that first terrible fight we had, we wound up in the airport crying. Crying, both of us sitting in an airport bar. And then we said, let's not ever let this happen again. And we hugged and we held each other. And we flew to where we were going. And fuck it up. We flew to San Francisco. And we went to the Giants White Sox game. And it was literally like a 5-hour fight. I mean, it started at my house, and in the car on the way to the airport, I kicked her out. We missed the plane. I had to double back, and we were in the car just fuming, and it was just me, her, and rage. And then at the airport, we finally just broke down and cried and held each other. I said, I don't want to do this. And she said, I don't want to do this either. And I go, we got to stop this. And she's like, yeah, we got to stop this. This is fucking 3 years ago. So we got to the park in San Francisco, and the whole time I wanted to go there was I told her, I go, they have this fucking awesome soft shell crab sandwich. I go, it's unbelievable. Because when you go to ballparks, that's what you do. I like to eat the local cuisine. I want to experience the whole fucking thing. I can watch baseball anywhere, but the whole point is to go to the park and drink it in and have their food and their beer or their soda and just have fun. That's the whole point. So we go out to the outfield and we're walking on the concourse and we get in the thing and we get to the line and I go, hey honey, and they're making the crab sandwiches and I go, honey, do you want one of your own or you want to split one? She goes, I'm not hungry. And I went, what? I go, I've been telling you about this for weeks. Like this is, I mean, I almost didn't even give a fuck about the game. I want you to see the ballpark and have this sandwich. And she's like, well, I don't want it. I don't want to eat it. And I go, okay, well, I'm probably going to get one. And again, she's paying, so it's weird. I don't want it. It's the same thing. It's literally this. Now that I think about it, holy fuck, it's the same fight. But we had that day, the difference was in Minneapolis, we had a fucking fantastic day. In San Francisco, we were filled with misery. Until we got to our hotel and everything seemed to be fine. And then we got up on the concourse and she started with the, I don't want this and and I literally, I can't remember exactly what she said. She was just like, No, I'm fine. Whatever. And the dance started, and I started to shake, and I started to cry. I teared up, and I held her shoulders, and I said, "Tell me who you want me to be. I'll be that person. I'll be him. Just tell me who you want me to be to make you happy." And she goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I said, "No, it's just happening again. Why?" And that's the first one. So, and I go to walk and get something to eat, and I just realize in my head, I'm not hungry. When I'm sad, I go get food. When I'm bored, I go get food. When I want to just not do any work, I go get food. And that's what I was doing. I was going to go get food, man. Just anything. Because I couldn't stand there and be ignored. I couldn't stand there and be alone in a crowd. I couldn't stand there next to the woman I wanted to spend the rest of my life with and be told I was smushing her, so I had to stand behind her. So I tried, man. I mean, I took a walk and I went, yeah, fuck this. I'm not hungry. So I went back where she was, and now there's a guy standing next to her. Not talking to her, not bothering her. And he's an old guy, and there's no threat there, but did she tell him he was smushing her? Did she mention that by any chance? Hey, Gramps, you're smushing me. I mean, he's half my fucking size. Maybe he's not a smushable dude. He's certainly not the Notorious S.M.U.S.H.E.R. So I walk, and that dude's there. And so I walk, I'm behind her, and I lean up, and I go, honey, and I should tell you this, too. In the middle of all this, Brian Dozier of the Twins hits a homer. So I'm like, awesome. Finally, one cool thing to save me in the middle of this fucking morass. He hits the bomb, and we're directly behind home plate. So I run down basically 8 rows away, and I get to watch the scoreboard go off, and I got to watch the Twins shake hands, and I got to see Dozier circle the board. But the more important thing, Dozier circled the bases, and fucking, you know what the Twins play when they hit a home run? Let's Go Crazy by Prince. That was the whole reason for this fucking trip. Jill and I wanted to go there to hear fucking Let's Go Crazy to see them hit the home run. And I didn't tell her they did it. I think I told her like a month ago, but I forgot to remind her because I wanted them to hit a homer and have her just hear it and smile. So they hit it, and I go down and I by myself, I hear Let's Go Crazy, and I watch them circle the bases, and I see the scoreboard go off, and I go back up to where she's standing there. And that guy's next to her, and I lean over and I say, honey, I'm just going to go walk around the concourse. She goes, when are we leaving? And I said, honey, I'll go whenever you want. I said, I'll leave. You want to leave? And she goes, well, it is cold, and I'm not having any fun, and we're just fucking standing here. I go, well, let's go sit down, or we can go walk. She goes, no, when are we leaving? It's cold. And I said, I'll go whenever you want to go. And she goes, well, you tell me when. And I go, fine. I'll go whenever you want to go. And in my head, I went, why the fuck am I going to leave? I haven't even seen half the ballpark yet. I came here for a reason. We came here for a reason. I want her to just snap out of it and walk with me and have fun. That's what I want. I don't want to go yet. I know she's cold, but I mean, she wouldn't be cold if she took my hand and we walked. Take my hand. So I said, well, why don't we just walk around? And she goes, no, I'm cold. I just want to go. I don't want to. And I went, well, honey, I'm going to go walk down the concourse. Because I guess it was a form of poker. Like maybe I thought it would shake her up and she'd go, oh, okay, well, I'll come with you. But I forgot. She's better at this than I am. But also, I wanted to see the fucking ballpark. I'm not even going to lie. It wasn't a gamesmanship move. It was, fuck it. I want to go look at this ballpark. If you're going to sit here and be miserable, that's on you. This is the shit I watched my mom do. My mom would fume and be upset and all that stuff. And Dan, my stepdad, he'd go to his room. He'd go down and tinker at his thing, or he'd join us and watch TV, and he'd go, yeah, your mom, she's just being your mom. And we'd laugh and we'd joke, and my mom would come in the room and she'd fume. Like nobody should have fun because she's pissed or she's in her black cloud. And you know what? I inherited that shit too. I do it a lot. But the thing is, I do it and then Jill does it. And I'm like, oh my God, she shouldn't do that. Not realizing I've done it for 45 years. I'm dating me. She's just a better me than I am. I'm the Schwarzenegger Terminator. She's fucking Robert Patrick. She's a fucking T2, man. So, fuck it. She's a T10. In looks. So I said, you know what, honey? I'm just going to walk around the concourse. She goes, fine. I'll see you at the hotel. And it's poker. Okay. I pushed a lot of chips in the middle of the table and she went all in. She went all in with, I'm going to go back to the hotel and I'm going to leave you. Is that what you want? Do you want me to leave you? And normally I go, let's go. All right, I'll go. We'll go. And then I scurry back to the hotel and then she sleeps on the other side of the bed and she won't talk to me. And I sit in the room and I've done this. We have the dance. I know how it ends. But I was like, fuck it. I'm like, you're not going back to the hotel. In my head, I was like, but at the same time, I was insulted at the inference that I would just cave. So I grabbed my wallet. I go, okay. And I go, you know what? I don't have a room key. Do you have a room key? She goes, I don't. And I go, well, I forgot to grab him. So I go, you're going to have to go to the desk and grab him. And she goes, fine. I'll see you back there. I said, honey, all right, fine. I walked away. And I walked, and in my head I went, good for you. Go enjoy yourself and fix this later. Go do the thing you came to do. It would be that much more fun if the woman you love and the woman you're spending the rest of your life with would have your hand and do it. But right now, she wants nothing to do with you, and you got to recognize that. And you can't fix this, because I've tried to fix it. I literally hugged her and said, honey, can we stop doing this? Can we just be happy and have fun? I'm fine. I'm not mad. I'm going back to the hotel. Well, I mean, all right. I wish you wouldn't. So I walked down the concourse, and I'm looking at the game from the first base line, and I come onto the left field. In Philadelphia, they have a concourse that goes through the entire outfield. Well, this one goes into left field and center, and there's statues, and that's the thing. You see the statues of Tony Oliva and Rod Carew, if he was there. I think he was there. You're trying to see the ballpark. That's why we go. So I turn the corner, there's a crowd of people, and it turns out there's a television camera. And there's a kid doing the worm on the ground. And that's the shit you want to see at a ballpark. I want to come, you know what? I want to come around the corner and see some fucking 13-year-old doing the worm. That's why I flew to Minneapolis, goddammit. Prince's house and some people doing the worm. So you see that, and that's funny. And there's people leaning and watching the game. You get the different angles. You see all the field. You see all of it. It's great. It's even better to go to a shitty team because you can just walk all over and nobody cares. So I walk away from the kid doing the worm. There's another crowd of people, and I just see above it a giant bear head. And it's TC, the Twins mascot. He's a dude in a bear costume. So people are taking photos, and he's taking pictures with little kids, and I didn't want to bother him. But then finally it kind of clears up, and I walk up to him, and he's all silent. It's so funny talking to those dudes because you're just like, hey, what's going on? And they talk with their hands, and they're shrugging, and they're looking. I've had a Hershey bar punch me. I've had an Elmo put me in a headlock, all that cool shit. I have a great picture of me fighting Mr. Softy at a hockey game. I don't think I ever put that up on the fucking internet, but it's beautiful. So I see the bear and I walk up to him and I go, dude, I go, hi. I go, can you put me in a headlock for a picture? And he's got that giant bear head and he just side to side. No. I go, hey man, it'll be a friendly headlock. There's a beat. No. And I go, all right, let me just get a regular photo. So he puts his arm around me. I take the photo, a couple of selfies, and I'm like, thank you. And because I'm me, because I'm a child, and that was funny and that was fun. And I like, you know what? Here's my Hail Mary. Because I thought of her and how fun would it have been if she would have been there with me to get the photo. If she would have been in the photo of the three of us, like getting hugged by a bear or whatever, it would have been awesome. That's a moment we lost. That's a moment we lost because misery was chosen. So I texted her immediately. I sent the photo and I went, look, there's no way you can still possibly be mad after seeing this photo. And I laughed to myself because, I mean, it's a cute photo and I'm like, all right, here's, this is how men break the ice with women and women understand and it's cute. And look at me. Oh, it's, this is Bluto breaking the beer bottle on his head in the fucking stairwell. Oh, come on. I'm totally, or not the stairwell, in the garage when he's trying to cheer up Flounder. I'm trying to cheer up Flounder. Hey, like smushing Jill's face. Hey, here's, So I sent the picture of the bear and I'm like, there's no way you can possibly still be mad after seeing this photo. And she writes, I'm at the train station. And I write, what? She goes, I'm at the train station. I told you I was going back to the hotel. It's a fun game to watch. I hope you have fun. hope the twins come back. I'm like, Jill, don't leave. She goes, I'm already out. I go, Jill, you don't, and I don't remember exactly what I texted, but it was along the lines of like, why are you doing this? I don't understand why you're leaving. And she goes, oh yeah, it's my fault. I said, it's nobody's fault. It was a 30-second flash argument over a sandwich, and it was over when it was over. And she goes, yeah, but you say that, but I'm supposed to just take it from you, but you're not supposed to take it from me. I don't even remember. It was you're married or you're in a relationship. You've had fights, and you know that you have your side and they have their side. And I will say that about this entire show. She has a completely different read on these events. I guarantee it. I cannot wait to hear that podcast. So that's, look, there's my story and her story, and the truth is somewhere in between. I got news for you. If you take my story and her story, the Venn diagram of this story is just the comedy and tragedy masks. Because this whole fucking thing is funny and dumb. Because we're in love. There's no reason for this shit to happen. So she says she's on the train. I go, you can't be leaving. She goes, I'm already out. She goes, have a good time. I'm sure the Twins will come back. It's a nice stadium. I'm like, come on, don't do this shit. And I read her. I go, you can't leave. There's no reason to do this. And I said it was, and she's like, blame me. I go, I'm not blaming you. It's a 30-second flash fight over a sandwich. There's no blame for anybody. It happened and then it was over, and we can be fine and happy and watch the game. Oh yeah, that's the way it is. I will never be what you want me to be. And then she texted a bunch of stuff, and that's fine. And then she writes, you say I was yelling at you and that people were watching you yell at you. Well, too bad they weren't in my kitchen a month ago when you were screaming at me and you told me that's just because that's who you are and I'm supposed to just take it. So I guess, fine, that's fine. Blame. And I'm like, man, that's a month ago. You want me to bring shit up from 2 years ago? From a year and a half? I mean, we both can do that. If you're in a relationship long enough, you can unearth enough skeletons to build a fucking bone house around one another and never speak to one another again. But the point is in the moment to just fucking shine it. In the moment, go, you know what? We've had this fight a million times before. I know how it ends. Let's have a different ending this time. Let's hug and smile and watch the game and have a beer or a sandwich or laugh or hug a bear. Let's go hug a fucking bear. No, let's get on the train separately. Fuck. So I leave. I go, all right, I said, I'm on my way. Because I'm not going to let her go away. She's like, I'm at the train station. And I go, well, and she goes, I'm freezing. And I go, I know you're cold. I know, honey, I'm on my way. Don't get on the train. She's like, I will never be what you want me to be. She texts a bunch of stuff. And I go, look, I get it. All right. This didn't work. We didn't work, whatever. It's the dance. This is the culmination of the dance. I'm not right for you. No, I'm not right for you. You shouldn't be with me. No, you shouldn't be with me. We're not worthy. I'm not worthy. You're not worthy. Nobody's worthy. Nobody loves us. Boo hoo. I eat fucking worms. It's the same shit all the fucking time. And we see it coming. We still walk down the dark tunnel toward the light, hoping it's an exit and not a fucking train. And I'm writing. I even say, take my hand. Don't do this. Take my hand. We were having an amazing day, an amazing week. And I told myself not to get mad this week. I told myself to just have fun and relax. And she's like, I'm getting on this train. And I'm like, don't. And now I'm hustling now. I'm getting to the, and the game is 3-3 and who cares? None of it matters at this point. I'm just trying to get to her. So I'm hustling at a decent clip to get to the gate because I was already on the other side of the fucking stadium. So I'm hustling past worming kids and hugging bears and just trying to get out the fucking door. So I get to my gate and she goes, the train's arriving at 9:42. I go, it's 9:40. I go, don't get on it. I go, I'm on my way out the gate right now. She goes, no way. She goes, the next one's at 9:57. I'm not sitting here and waiting for you. And I go, but yes, you are. I go, I'm right. I'm 3 minutes away. I'm right. She goes, yeah, but the train's at 9:42. And I go, I'm almost there. I hit the gate. I see the train. And now I start running. And I'm trying to text while I'm running and I can't. So I'm running and I get on the platform and I ask a cop, I go, which train? He goes, this is it right here. So I go to hop a turnstile and he goes, you can't do that. Stop. He goes, you got to walk around. And I'm like, fuck. So I got to walk around. So that costs me 30 seconds. So I walk around and then I fucking sprint and I go running and the train is stopped and I run up and it starts to take off. And I go, Jill, don't get on it. I'm here. And the train disappears. It starts to go into the distance and she's not on the platform. And I said, I'm here. I'm watching the train fade into the distance. And I wrote, because here's the thing, man. It's a 40-minute train ride from the Mall of America to the park. And then we have to take the shuttle from the Mall of America back to the hotel. So I write her and I just say, hey, look, can you just wait for me where the shuttle is? I said, I'm here. I missed this train. You know when the next one is. And her phone's off. Or my texts just aren't going through. Because both of us were at like 20% power. Because we were, when we were having fun, we were taking selfies and posting them to Facebook and having a good time and showing everybody what a great time we have and how great our relationship was and look how happy we are and how much fun we're having. And then we had a disagreement over a bacon sandwich and everything fucking fell apart again. And I didn't want it to be that way. And here's the thing. She didn't want it to be that way either. I'm confident in saying that. She loves me. But sometimes we step on our own fucking dick. Sometimes we can't get out of our own way. And sometimes there's a maze of 100 of us between us and the right thing. Train disappears. I just sit there. She's not texting me. My phone's almost dead. Next train pulls up at 9:57. I ride it in silence. I can't even look at my phone. I can't even go to Twitter. I can't do fucking anything. I peek periodically and then I see that my messages are delivered to her. She doesn't answer me. They stop the train halfway through. They say, oh, there's a gap between us and the other train. We have to try to close it. Well, they say that while fucking cops are going up and down the side of the train with flashlights, looking for somebody. They're ducking into the cars. They're looking at everybody. They're coming up. They're literally shining flashlights. It's light, and they're still shining flashlights in people's faces. And they kept looking at people's necks, which was weird. Like I thought maybe they were looking for a necklace or some sort of identifying mark. But we sat there for at least 15 minutes while the cops combed the train. She doesn't answer me. So I ride the train, and so it takes me almost an hour to get to the mall. And she's gone. Like I said, she never answered me. I get off the train. I walk into the station, and in my head, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I really don't. I just don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because she and I are exactly the same. She's the 40-year-old girl. I love her. But she does the same shit that I do, but again, she's just so much better at it than me. I've told her this. And we've had talks after these have happened, and I said, let's not do that again. And she goes, I hate it. She goes, I hate not sleeping with you. I hate. And I go, then why do it? Why do it? You could easily let your defenses down and put your fists down, but that's not who she is. She is constantly on alert and does not want to be hurt. And she's waiting to be hurt. And the instant a slight shows up, she reacts with such swiftness to the point where I can only imagine how she's been hurt in the past. And I'll cop to this. I've hurt her. I know. And she's waiting for me to do it again, and I tell her I won't. But actions are louder than words, they say, and even though my actions were a long time ago, they're still raw to the skin. And she's just waiting. She just thinks that I'm carrying this other shoe, and I'm looking to not just drop it, but throw it at her. That's not it. And no matter how many times I tell her I love her and I want to be with her for the rest of my life, my past drowns it out. I get off the train. I walk into the station. And I just got my head down. You know, I have no earbuds. I got to listen to fucking people. Fuck people. I come around the corner. I get on the escalator. And I lean back and I look. And she's there on the landing. Like, I walked right past her. And I go, Jill? And she doesn't look, and I go, Jill! And she looks at me, and I go running down the up escalator. I'm like, hey. And she sees me, and she bolts for me, okay? And she comes right to me, and she gets on the escalator, and I put my arms out, and she walks right past me. And she walks the steps while I ride the escalator. She doesn't even look at me. She just walks right by me. We get to the top, and she starts walking, and I'm walking, and she's 15 paces ahead of me. And we get into the mall, and we have to see a map because we have to find out where the shuttle pickup is from where the train was. We're just, you're fucking disoriented. Like I said, it's loneliness under a roof. So she goes, this is the first thing she said to me in, 2 hours. She just looked at me, she goes, do you know where we're going? I said, well, yeah, I think we have to go to north, and we're right here at east, so we got to go up and around, and she just walks away. So I stay at the map to make sure I know exactly where I'm going, and then I walk, and she's really good at directions. Like, in the mall, she found a store after we walked past it. She goes, yeah, you turn here, turn here, turn here, and it was there. I was like, holy shit. I'm not that guy. I need a kiosk. I'm a man who lives his life desperately in need of a kiosk. So we walk, and again, she's 15 paces ahead of me easily. She takes out her phone as we approach the door, because the shuttle, you still got to walk. Like I said, it's about, it's a little farther than the ballpark from the train, so it's probably about 200 steps. So she's got her phone out, and we get into the foyer. She gets into the foyer ahead of me, and she stops in the foyer. So I walk through the foyer, and I just fucking walk out. Like, I'm not going to stand next to her. I'm not going to talk to her. She doesn't want any part of me, so what the fuck? So I walk through, and I go out to the shuttle stop, and I pick up my phone, and I call the hotel, and I go, hey, guys, I'm looking for the shuttle. And they go, okay, hang tight. And they go, it'll be there in 5 minutes. So I sit out there in the cold, and she's back in the foyer because it's warm, because the whole reason she left the game ostensibly was because she's cold. So I'm just going to let her stay in the foyer, and when the shuttle pulls up, she'll come out and meet us. Shuttle pulls up. Takes about 5 minutes. I climb in it, and I go, hey, there's one more person. He goes, okay. We wait, and I text Jill. I go, shuttle's here. And she doesn't answer me. And I text her back. I say, Jill, the shuttle's here. And she doesn't answer me. And I said, Jill, I text her a third time, and I go, shuttle's here. And she writes back, Mike, I was accosted in the train station. I don't feel safe walking out to the shuttle by myself. Well, this is the first I'm hearing of it. I don't know anything that happened because, again, she took the train by herself. So I walk out, and I go, I'm on my way. So I walk to get her. I open up the foyer. She's on the phone. She says she was on the phone for 15 minutes waiting for the shuttle to show up, and she was on hold. And I'm like, well, I texted you 3 times. The shuttle's here. She goes, oh. I open the door, and she walks away from me. She doesn't touch me. She doesn't kiss me or hug me or say hi. She literally walks away like I'm a fucking bug. And she gets on the shuttle. She sits in the only single seat to make sure I won't sit next to her, I suppose. And I sit down. We ride back to the hotel. And in my head, I pretty much know what I'm going to do. Shuttle pulls up. She, again, gets off. Thanks to the driver. She's very nice to him. She gets off, and I look at the driver, and I go, hey, I think I might need a ride to the airport tonight. You guys on duty? He goes, yeah, we're here 24 hours. There'll be a new driver in about 15 minutes. I said, great. So we walk into the hotel, and she's at the desk already getting the keys. And I walk over to the thing, and the guy goes, can I help you? And I go, I'm actually with her. It might not appear to you that I'm with her. It certainly doesn't appear to her that I'm with her. But I promise you, my things are in her room. So I think I'm with her. I didn't say all that, but in my fucking head I did. So the fucking dude gives her the key. She turns around, blows right by me. Doesn't take my hand, doesn't kiss me. No, again, nothing. Won't even make eye contact. It's not even like there's any intimate contact. There's not even fucking contact. Like, she can't even see me. So she turns the corner where the elevators are. And I'm 15 paces behind her. Well, she walks right past the elevators, and she takes the stairs. Because here's the thing, folks. Every time she and I get in an elevator together, in our entire lives, in our entire relationship, whenever we get in an elevator together and we're alone, I pin her against the wall of it, and we make out until we get to the floor. wherever we are. I don't give a fuck if it's the second floor. I don't give a fuck if it's the 18th floor. We will make out until we get to our floor or somebody gets on the elevator. And sometimes we don't even stop then. So her taking the stairs was clearly a message that she didn't want to make out with me or look at me or breathe with me in the same small space. And look, my 4 agreements tell me not to make assumptions, so maybe that's not true. Maybe she just wanted to get some exercise, and that's why she took the 2 flights of stairs, so I don't want to assume. All I know is I rode on the elevator with a businessman up to the 2nd floor. And I get in the hallway. She's still like, now she's 20 paces ahead of me. She opens the door to the hotel. And the door to the room, I walk out, I get in. And she immediately starts, when she got in, she put the little latch out so the door slams into it. Clang! Nothing gentle about it. And I walk in and I go right to my laptop, which is on the table, because I got to pack it up. I start packing up the cords. I put everything away and I zip it up and I go in the bathroom. And I start running the sink. I use the restroom and I throw water in my face. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, you could stop this right now. Like you could relax. You could calm down. But you're just going to have another silent night of misery while she sleeps on the edge of the bed and wants nothing to do with you. And then she's going to tell you she's not mad. But she's going to ignore you, and you know that. Don't be rude. Drink your drink. So I throw water in my face, and I take a glass of water, and I chug it, and then I take another, and I chug it, and I take another, and I chug it, because I wasn't going to buy a beverage at the ballpark because, I'm broke, and it's not my fucking money. Especially when we're fighting, I'm not going to go. Oh, you know what? That would have been the funniest revenge. What if I came over with the chicken sandwich, the pork belly sandwich, the cucumber lemonade, and all the shit just in my arms, just like, hey, look what I found. All right. And just started eating. She'd be just like, oh my God, Notorious S.M.U.S.H.E.R. Why the fuck are you using every goddamn card? Holy shit, is there any room left on that credit card? Probably not. Woohoo! Look at me with an andouille sausage in Minnesota. I'm a fucking jagoff. So I could try. I could just try. But I can't. You know why? If I'd have gotten off the train and seen her and she would have said, this is dumb, I love you, it would have been fine. Maybe we could have worked it. But instead, she walked away from me. She wouldn't touch me. She wouldn't look at me. And then I'm just, like I said, I'm a fucking bug. I'm an insect. Why? Why? Because again, as we all know, I'm a partial narcissist. So I think really great things about myself, even when I also think I'm a dick. So to be treated like I'm nothing, why would I stay and let that continue? I already couldn't stand next to her. I know she doesn't want me to sleep next to her. So why the fuck am I in the room? And this is what leads me to always run away. Because you know what? If we're going to do this, then let's just fucking do this. If you don't want me here, I'll go. But then this is what happens. It's the dance. I walk out of the bathroom. I take my computer bag and I go to leave. I just go to open the door and she's getting undressed to go to bed. And she goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm leaving. She goes, what? I go, you don't want me here. And she goes, don't leave. And I go to walk out and she grabs me. She goes, don't leave. You always do this. Why are you always leaving? And I'm like, you don't want me here. You clearly don't want me here. She goes, no, you don't. Why are you leaving? And she chases me in the hallway. And I'm walking and she's like, you don't go. And then all of her defenses are dropped. And all of her stiff upper lip goes limp. And then she's the woman I love telling me to please stay. But I'm too far gone. I mean, for 2 hours, you treated me like shit. And again, like I said, she's got her version, I've got my version. And her version is going to be completely different than this. But for 2 hours, let's put it this way. She didn't do anything. I felt like shit. For 2 hours, I was having a miserable time. Whatever her actions, whatever her part in it, it felt like she didn't want me there. So why the fuck would I be there? So I left. And she chases me in the hallway and she starts to cry. And she's pushing my chest and she's too small. She's too small. But I couldn't stay. I couldn't. And she's like, don't you know what happened? And I go, no, I don't know anything. You don't talk to me. And I just walk past her. And I hear her say, as I turn the corner, I'm sorry. But it's too, I go, no, you're not. Sorry would have worked 2 hours ago. Why do you push me out of your life for that whole fucking time? I hit the elevator button. And I hear her just softly, she's crying. And she just says, I love you. I said, I love you. Take care of yourself. And I get in the elevator. And I go downstairs. And I go to the airport. Fucking 11:30, midnight, whatever the fuck. Now she and I have plans for Wednesday. Like I said, we're going here. We might be meeting listeners, and it's all destroyed. It's smashed like the fucking jellies in Prince's house. So I go outside, I get the shuttle, and my phone is dying, and I don't even have a fucking cord to charge it. So I asked the guy, I go, dude, can you go to Walgreens? And he's like, yeah, there's one right up here. He pulls into Walgreens, and in my head I go, no, I bet this motherfucker would have taken us from the airport to the Mall of America. God damn it, she was right. So I run and I get a charger cord. He takes me to the airport, and I have to sit down once again and reconfigure my life around me walking away. We were supposed to fly together on Tuesday night, and we were going back to Minneapolis. Or I'm sorry, we were going back to Milwaukee, and this is the serious truth. Thursday, we had our first couples counseling session scheduled. I don't laugh because I laugh because that's fucking pathetic. So close. Missed it by that much. Almost. So I get to the airport, and I'm supposed to fly to I try to fly to Chicago so I can go to Dave's because we have interlude work to do. I wanted to just go home. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to fly from Minneapolis to Burbank and go to my house and lay under the covers and hide under the coats for fucking 5 days, 6 days, a week, a month. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to deal with anything. I wanted to throw my phone into the fucking ocean. But I have work to do. So I make arrangements to fly from Minneapolis at 6 a.m. into Chicago. Get there at 7:30. I'm going to rent a car and drive to Dave's. Hope he's awake. And then he'll go with me to O'Hare to drop the car off because I got no money. Again, I haven't worked for over a month and a half. She's been taking care of me because that's who she is. She's a good person, and she loves me, and she wants good things for me. But sometimes there's 100 of us in the way. So I buy the ticket. I have to change a ticket, and then I have to change a ticket to get from Chicago back to Burbank on Saturday or Sunday. It was just a fucking mess. But you know what? I got the fucking time. It's fucking midnight in the airport. The next flight is at 6 a.m. So I think I got plenty of time to suss this out. I sit around, I make all the fucking arrangements, and then I'm in the airport at, I finally finish around 1 or 1:15. And, man, I go to the security checkpoint and it's closed. It doesn't open until 3:30 in the morning. And I've been awake since 5:15 a.m. I'm just, and mentally, I'm exhausted. I'm fucking exhausted. So I go in at the security checkpoint and I sleep. I sleep sitting up in a fucking chair. Now look, I sleep in my house in a chair, but there's an ottoman and I can kind of lay down. Sleeping sitting up at the airport when you're fucking 48 and you weigh fucking 290 pounds, that's a trick. Now I know how those fucking chicks feel when they get shoved into a box by a magician. I'm just, all of a sudden, I went to Minnesota to have a good time and I wind up starring in The Prestige. Get me the fuck out of here. Someone's going to saw my ass in half. So I crash out. Finally, at like 3:30, I hear them open the fucking gate. I walk through. I go to my gate. I'm at H8 waiting to fly to Chicago at 6 a.m. And I close my eyes and I set my alarm. And a guy at 4:15 taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "You going to Chicago?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "They canceled the flight." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, that flight's canceled." So it turns out they canceled. There was fog, so they canceled the 6 a.m., the 7:50 a.m. So I'm on the phone with Southwest for a half an hour. I'm on hold. I start tweeting them and writing them direct messages going, "What's going on?" I finally get through and they're just like, "Yeah, we can put you on a 5:30 that routes through Kansas City and gets you to Chicago at 9:30. I go, "AM?" And he goes, "PM." I go, "Dude, I've been in this airport since 11 o'clock. I go, I can't do that. There's no way." And so then I look into the Burbank flight. Well, now that's up to $500 because it was overnight. It fucking changed the date. And I'm like, "Can we switch this?" He goes, "Well, no, you can't fly to a different airport with this because we can cover your fare," whatever. The fucking, you know how it is. All of a sudden the airport puts up every goddamn roadblock they can, which is strange because they travel in the sky. So then I talked to a gate agent, a guy named Mark, and he's like, "I don't know what to tell you." He goes, "I wish I could do it. I got that Kansas City flight." I go, "Dude, that's not going to help." I go, "I've been here since 11. Look at me. I'm a fucking mess. I've been up since 5:15 yesterday morning." He goes, "I understand." I go, "Dude, I'm wearing the same clothes." He goes, "I get it. I know. I'm really sorry. I wish I could help you." I go, "Is there any traction with getting me on a different airline?" He goes, "No, because we can't cover that. You'd have to buy the ticket." I go, "Well, that's going to be $8,000. He goes, "Well, you can try Spirit." I go, "No, thanks. I don't want to stand on the wing." And he laughed. He fucking laughed. He goes, "Yeah, that's a bad airline." I'm like, "Yep. And if you got a guy from Southwest making fun of you, that's a bad airline." So then it dawns on me, I'm like, "You know what? Are there any flights to Milwaukee?" And he goes, "Let me check." He looks it up. He goes, "Yeah, there's actually an 11:55 a.m. that gets you to Milwaukee by 1 p.m. I said, "All right, you know what? That's the move. I got to do it." Because I figure I can at least fly to Milwaukee. I can get a car there and get to Chicago, or I can take the bus from Milwaukee to O'Hare and have Dave pick me up at O'Hare. So I booked the Milwaukee flight and I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to sleep." Because it's 5 a.m. and the flight's not till noon. So I'm going to be in this airport for fucking 13 hours. So I sleep sitting up in a chair. And I'm used to it from the bus. I used to take my things and I'd wrap my duffel bag around my arm 4 times so nobody could take it. I don't know who I think is going to steal my laptop in the airport, but that's just your vagabond's fucking existence. You think that everybody's going to steal everything you got. So I sleep. I wake up periodically. I sleep. I wake up. All of a sudden I wake up and there's buzzing around. Like I keep waking up and there's nobody in the airport. Then there's 3 people in the airport. Then there's 10 people in the airport. Then the coffee shop is open. You know that shit that happens? You keep closing your eyes and waking up to different kinds of life. So all of a sudden I wake up and I look and Jill is standing right in front of me. And she goes, "Hey." I said, "Hey." She goes, "Did you get my email?" I said, "I haven't." I go, "My phone, it's on airplane mode. I'm sleeping." She goes, "Well, you should check your email because, you know, I changed your flight for you. And I if you want to fly a companion flight, you got to fly this flight with me." And I was like, "Okay." And then she said, I thought she said, "I can't fly unless you confirm it because I have a companion. Otherwise I'll cancel." I couldn't understand. I was half asleep. I went, "Okay." She goes, "All right." She just walks away. So I go in and I check and she's made me the companion. I call Southwest. I make whatever arrangements I got to make. And I look at Jill's email and it just says, "I would never leave you stranded. So I made arrangements for you. You can fly with me on the companion pass. I love you very much." There's some other stuff in there too, you know. So I make the arrangements. I go back to sleep. I wake up around 11. I finally drink some water for the first time since I was in the fucking room. Throw water on my face again. Use the restroom. They line us up for the plane, and she's A-list, so she gets on first because she's an awesome big shot. And they call B, and I go up, and she's in line. She doesn't even look at me. I get on the plane, and when we fly together, you know, I sit on the right-hand side of the plane in a window seat, and she sits in the middle next to me. I always feel guilty about that. You know, I don't want to put her in the middle. But she wants to sit next to me and she knows where I like to be because, again, she does for me and I do for her. So we get on the plane. She's like 6 people ahead of me. And she takes a window seat on the right-hand side of the plane. because she knows there's no way I'm going to sit there. And truth be told, I wasn't going to anyway, because I'm just as stubborn as she is. And, a man helps her with her luggage, and I feel that pain in my gut that I'm not there to take care of her. And I go and I sit in the very back row of the plane. And I sit 60 feet away from the woman I love, and we don't even look at one another. We're just about to land in Milwaukee. I send her a text, and I just say, hey, can I come by and grab some stuff at your place? And she writes back and says, I'll leave it on the porch. And I said, Jill, oh no, she says, I'll ship it to you. And I said, Jill, I actually need some clothes, and my microphone is at your house. So I need to grab that stuff. I said, it'll take 5 minutes. She says, I'll leave it on the porch. I said, you'll leave what on the porch? I go, Jill, I don't want to cause a scene. I'm sad. I'm exhausted. I don't want to fight. I just want to come in. I'll throw things in a suitcase and I'll go. It'll be 5 minutes. And she says, then she'll put it on the porch. And I said, look, you can have your friend there or your son. Anybody can be there. I'm going to be in and out in 5 minutes. And then she says, do not come to my house. And then she offers to ship it to Dave's, and I'm like, I'm a half hour away. It'll be I'm just exhausted. Like I said, I don't want to do this. It's all, and I also don't want to force myself. Because I've done this before. I go, keep it. Literally, I've walked out and gone, keep my car, keep everything, keep the laptop, sell it. I don't give a fuck. Take it off the money I owe you, because I owe her a shit ton of money. I mean, a fuck ton, a ridiculous amount, because she's been generous and she's been good and she's taken care of me. But I'm not, I've fucking cataloged virtually every cent in my head. I've sent her invoices, for fuck's sake. So she says, do not come to my house. And we text a little bit more stuff back and forth. And I stop. I get off the plane, I walk through, and I text Dave to see if he can get me to O'Hare. He says he can. And I take the bus to Chicago. Dave can't pick me up until nighttime, 7 o'clock. I mean, I'm in the same underwear for 40 hours, folks. What the fuck? And I all of a sudden I'm John Candy. I'm trying to find shower curtain rings to sell. I'm buying little bags of chips. I'm living off tiny bottles of liquid. I mean, it's just fucking awful. I'm just a hobo, but I am a goddamn charming hobo. I can't lie to you, folks. Even with 40-hour underwear and miserable, I am one. Dude, I'm a charming hobo. I'm the Notorious S.M.U.S.H.E.R, and I'm a charming hobo. If this show has done nothing else, it has provided me with 2 excellent rap names. I can't argue that. I am the charming hobo, and I'm the Notorious S.M.U.S.H.E.R. This is beautiful. So when everything else goes to shit, I at least have a great looking album cover for my fucking mixtape. As I'm sitting in the airport, I go on Facebook and I see Jill posts, because we're not talking, and it's the game. It's the game where, she unfollows me on Twitter, and I pretend that I don't see her posts, and she puts up a new photo. I mean, whatever. It's the 40-year-old boy and the 40-year-old girl going to their junior prom. Going to the turnabout dance. Going to the 8th grade dance. Let's be honest. I don't know if either of us reaches senior and high school levels of maturity with our actions. Certainly not in these situations. But I see her post that she got accosted at the train station. And I immediately get sick to my stomach. I'm full of rage. I'm full of rage. And she posts that a guy bothered her, and then he grabbed her, and there was a cop and there was an FBI agent in Minneapolis who helped her out, and they tackled this dude. And I mean, it's a fucking brutal story. It's awful. And I read it and I'm like, oh my God. And then, and I only mention this for this reason. Like, because again, people then write under the comment, there are people wishing her well and telling her, my God, I'm glad you're safe. And I am glad she's safe. And we're all glad she's safe. But people I know, my buddy Jimmy O and my friend Linda, and they're just like, and KC and listeners to the show. And KC actually writes, how did Mike Schmidt not snap this guy in half? And Jill responds to him and says, we got separated. He was on the train behind me. Nobody's fault. I was waiting for him when it happened. And like I said, there's no blame here. There's no fault. It was a 30-second flash fight over a sandwich, and then she and I each did the thing that we do. But I didn't want to turn this into a Facebook he said, she said. I didn't want to do any of that. But this show is about my life. And this show is about who I am. And this is the last show of year 8. And I don't give a fuck if you've been listening from the first episode, if you've listened for 8 years, or you've listened for the last 8 minutes. Do I sound like the guy who would let my girlfriend get on another train without me and then ride behind her jovially to meet her and not worry about getting separated? No blame, nobody's fault. But I wouldn't let Jill take the garbage out alone, let alone get on a train at 11 o'clock p.m. in a strange city and ride without me. So that's where I am. I'm in Chicago. I had to go buy clothes. I had to make Dave bring me out to buy underwear. Oh, man, let me tell you, that's a lifelong friend if he doesn't mind going to Target at 9:30 to watch me buy boxer briefs. And I'm throwing them in the cart, and I'm buying socks, and I'm buying yogurt, and I'm just moving in. Because, again, I got nothing. I'm the charming hobo. I just go from fucking door to door and stay wherever the fuck I can. I needed shirts, but they don't have fat guy shirts at Target. You know what I did, folks? I tried shirts on in front of Dave. I'm in the fucking baby section, taking my clothes off. He's like, I'm out. I can't do this. I go, dude, grow up. You were in a fucking locker room. And he's like, yeah, fucking, you're taking your shirt off in a Target. I go, because I don't want to spend fucking $15 on a shirt that doesn't fit. I'm like, we got to go to the fat guy store and get shirts. I can buy pants here. Just my fucking out of proportion body doesn't wear a Target shirt very well. So I had to buy fucking clothes. I had to buy a microphone to finish this fucking show because I plugged it into my goddamn... I had to do all of this because that's where I am, because this is the dance. And I don't know what's happening, what's going to happen, what will happen, what should happen. I don't. I know I love Jill very much. And I've made the analogy on here before, and I think it was apt. I thought of it a few years ago, and I always think I'm clever when I say it. Is that she and I are at the starting line, waiting for the gun to go off. We're just facing opposite directions. Well, Tuesday night, the gun went off in Minneapolis. And the two of us just started sprinting. And I don't know if we're ever going to stop running. You guys can get me at Mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You guys can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. My friend David Hernandez, who is not only my consigliere and my music guy and my artwork guy, he is also my hey, do these fit guy. You can find him at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. You can follow him, or I'm sorry, no, he's not on Twitter, but you can go to artbydmh.com. That's ARTBY.DMH.com and find him and get him to send you artwork that's cool or artwork that's uncool. Whatever you want to pay for, he'll fucking do it. He doesn't care. Ryan Dirks is our web guy. He's at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. Go be his friend and his pal and do all that. Lily Von Stupp is the producer of this show. You can find her at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. Now, you can't be her friend there, but you can read her page. She's all full up of friends. But you can go to Facebook.com/Monday Night Teas and follow her there. Or follow her on several different Twitter accounts. Go to Twitter.com/MNTeas, Twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest, Twitter.com/ Boobdini, and twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp. Or, if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out if she's banging exclusively her clown or all of the clowns at Circus Vargas, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
If you search for tenderness, it isn't hard to find. You can have the love you need to live. But if you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind. It always seems to be so hard to give honesty. Such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard. Mostly what I need from you. I can always find someone to say they sympathize if I wear my heart out on my sleeve. But I don't want some pretty face to tell me pretty lies. All I want is someone to believe. Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard, but mostly what I need from you. I can find a lover, I can find a friend, I can have security until the bitter end. Anyone can comfort me with promises again. I know, I know, I know. When I'm deep inside of me, don't be too concerned. I won't ask for nothing while I'm gone. When I want sincerity, tell me where else can I turn? 'Cause you're the one that I depend upon. Honesty, such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard, but mostly what I need from you.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. I don't know who's there this week. I don't know who was there last week. All I know is both shows were fucking great, right? Because that's what they do, is they put on great shows at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. All shows, great shows, amazing shows. More shows I'll tell you about later, as a matter of fact. And so go to that show. If you want to go to facebook.com/Monday Night Teas, you will find out more about who is there and who should be there and who has been there. And you will see naked ladies, plenty of naked ladies. That's who's there. That's the big thing about that show. Nudity. That's right. Everybody loves, like unity, but nudity. Naked women, pasties. Well, there's pasties and there's G-strings and C-strings. You ever see a C-string? Holy God, is that weird magic. It's like somebody went, hey, I want to cover a girl's pussy with magic. And they invented the C-string. Boom. It was amazing. So go to the Monday Night Teas. Go to facebook.com/Monday Night Teas, and you will see exactly who's coming to town, who's been there. And again, like you said, you can follow Lily on the Twitter, because I'm 1,000 years old. And you will find out exactly who's coming and who hasn't come and who will be there. And it's great. It's a good show. You can go to brownpapertickets.com and buy tickets for that. And you can go to, I think that's a Gold Star, maybe? I don't know. But if you go to Lily Von Stupp at Facebook, you can find that. Monday Night Teas at Facebook. And also, please remember this. Lily is on Patreon. Patreon. Patreon.com/Lily. Patreon.com/Lily. And you can support the tea, support her and all of her endeavors. She got a big tour coming up in June. So that, I don't know what that means for this show, but we'll figure it out. I'm able to talk into a microphone whether she's there or not. But go to the Monday Night Teas and check all that out. It's super fun. Also, remember that this Monday, May 16th, at the Three Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica, 2020 has done it again. They put on an astonishing comedy show. Condi show? Yes, Condoleezza Rice will be there talking to everybody about stuff. Brandy Posey, the incredibly funny Brandy Posey, and of course my good friend and astonishingly national headliner. Astonishingly national? I don't know what that means. He's an astonishingly funny national headliner. My friend Jimmy Pardo will be there. Brandy Posey, Jimmy Pardo, and me this Monday night, May 16th, at the Three Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. Buy some tickets. Let the shooter think I'm a hitter. Because, he has to do the show and he's going to show up and there'll be nobody. He's going to bust my balls for it, which he'll do anyway. But come on out and watch him do it. Why not? That makes it even better. I know some of you are coming and some of you wanted to come, so go ahead and buy tickets. Now, if you go, there's a Gold Star link that I will tweet out and I will also have on my Facebook page over the next few days. And that's $5 tickets. They're $10 at the door. And then I think they're $12 in the alley, which is weird. Scalpers are taking that $2 pro, that little $2 haircut. They're still scalping it and taking it for themselves. Off the top, the juice. Look, you got to pay the VIG. You're going to buy tickets in the alley, you got to pay the VIG. So go to my Facebook page or go to my Twitter page, and I will tweet out the link. Brandy Posey, Jimmy Pardo, me, Mike Schmidt, all at 2020 this Monday, May 16th, 7:30 show. Doors are at 7. And then apologies are abruptly at 9, probably. Maybe 8:30. I might squeeze the apologies in a little sooner this time. Promptly at 9 o'clock. This 8:30, 9. Who cares? Promptly, abruptly. All those words I'm using incorrectly. What did I make an adverb earlier? I made something an adverb. I don't remember. It's been a long few days, folks. I can't remember all of my adverbs 3 days after being a hobo, even though a charming one. Also, I want to straighten something out. I got to say this really quick. We did the Prince tribute show a couple of weeks ago, me and my good friend Dave. And I mentioned that I had gotten a box of Prince CDs, and I thought my friend Derek had sent it, and I wasn't sure exactly who it was. And I fucked up, and I know I've talked about him on the air before. It was John Freeman, father of Quinn. And that's how he signs his emails. John Freeman, father of Quinn. John has seen me live like 4 times, and I feel like a dick for not attributing the Prince stuff to him. So, and then he wrote me after and he sent me a great clip of Prince doing Zeppelin, which is fucking amazing. So I feel a disservice has been done to John Freeman, who sent me all of the Prince stuff and really hooked me up and took care of me. And that was really nice of him to do so. And again, he's seen me live. I think he was definitely in Pittsburgh. He met, it was me and Jill were there. He's seen me in Cleveland. He actually prevented, his brother hated the show and wanted to tell me how bad it was, but he prevented his brother from doing so, which was fucking hilarious. I think he saw me in Chicago. John's seen me a bunch of times, and he sent the Prince stuff. So thank you, John, for being the guy who's hooked me up with that. And I do apologize for not being able to pull your name out of thin air when we were having purple shenanigans in the basement. So I want to make sure I go ahead and clarify that right now. Please go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. We've got all sorts of cool stuff there. We've got, there's plenty of pages for you to look at. I should shuttle out the artwork on the Boy with the Horns page. Whatever, look around. You've seen it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But more importantly, go to the Joe Business page and support this show like you've never supported before. There are ways to donate. You can click on the little donation button there for little Schmitty and his pocket's out. You can send a one-time donation or you subscribe to the show for $2, $5, $10, or $25 a month. And then we got a bunch of stuff on sale, which is really cool. We have the shirts. Your dirt shirts are available. Also, some mystery shirts are available. We've got download sets 1 through 7, year 1 through year 7, and eventually year 8 will be up there shortly, very soon, because this is the end of year 8. That will be available. So right now, it's the 7 Deadly Schmidts box set. That's available, 7 years of this show, which just seems astonishing to say. And then we're also bringing year 8 to a close here. So right now, get 1 through 7 or get the 7 Deadly Schmitz box set. Those are available now. We've also got the live downloads. We've got Schmitty Comes Alive, Schmidt Alive 2, and Stop Making Schmidt. Those are available. Those are live performances from the LA Podfest. And by the way, a lot of people are writing me, and they're saying, hey, with the Los Angeles Podfest, when are you on? What's the date? When's your show? I don't know. I don't know if I'm involved in the Podfest this year. Couldn't hurt if you wrote the guys and said you wanted to see me. But right now, I don't know if I'm involved. So as we know, that's a continuing saga and one that always goes and goes and goes. So I'm not sure if it'll happen or it won't happen. Regardless, write them if you want to see me. That would be great. But right now you can buy the 3 years that we have available at the download page. And we also have the Big Angry CD, which is really old now, and I should probably do a new one. And eventually I will when I get money to go out and do a show somewhere and record it and it's funny and I have some material that makes sense. As opposed to now when I use my money to buy jeans and underwear with my friend Dave and then buy a microphone. So go ahead and check like I said, that's the Joe Business page. And also, please don't forget that we have Word Pimp Schmitty and the Misanthropic Gangster available for you to purchase at on the website. Is that Santa Claus coming down the chimney?
What are you doing?
I'm recording a show. Remember I came here last night? You saw me with my shirt off?
Oh, dude. Think about it.
Well, don't. So please.
What the hell? Oh, that's the microphone.
Yes, that's that's the snowball. You set this up. You know what it is.
It just looks really weird.
It does. It's what did you say it looked like? It looked like the thing
It looked like the thing that Luke Skywalker is fighting aboard when he's training.
On
that
Dagobah.
floating ball.
On the Dagobah system. Well, yeah, you took me to the Guitar Center on the Dagobah system to pick this up. That's Dave Hernandez. I'm in his basement. And
about the interlude?
I'm probably going to get to that at some point, I would imagine. But right now I'm telling them that they need to get Word Pimp Schmitty and the Misanthropic Gangster, which is available. And you should know about that. You recorded some of it.
Yeah, I'm on it.
That's that's music from the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. And then also there's the Heroes album. You've heard of that, haven't you, David?
Yeah, I was a part of that.
That's David Hernandez's album, and it's just him doing
38 instruments on it.
Did you play Roof of Mouth?
All right, 39.
So that's available now. The Heroes album, Word Pimp Schmitty and the Misanthropic Gangster. Free with a $7 download, free with a $7 donation to the show. How's that verbal jujitsu gotcha? Free with a $7 donation. Hi, ASCAP. So that's our little nod to them. So please donate and get that music. And also, did I mention the Amazon link? Have I talked about the Amazon link? I don't know if I did.
Yeah.
The Amazon link.
Closer.
What thing?
You were a good distance away.
The
from
windscreen?
it. Yeah, I think you're probably going to have high levels.
Did you know that your windscreen stays on my mind, Dave?
It does.
The Amazon link is available at the page. Click on the Amazon link. It goes through to the Amazon store, which is woefully undermanned. I think I said that earlier, maybe, or I didn't, or I deleted it. Folks, rough couple of days. I had the same underwear on for 40 hours.
Yeah.
So right now you can go ahead and check out the Amazon link. Go to there. Click on our Amazon link on the Joe Business page. It gets you to our store. Click on the Amazon link on there, and then you're in the store, and you can buy whatever you want, and we get credit. Thank you for thinking of us. And yeah, the interlude.
Yeah, you should talk about that.
Well, I'm going to talk about it, and I have some things to say regarding year 9 and year 8 and whatever. And so the interlude, as you know, it comes at the end of every year. That is next week. Next week will be an interlude show where it'll be stuff. And this is, I like to talk about it the first episode of the next year, but I'll talk about it a little here. About 6 weeks ago, Dave and I were talking about it and banging stuff around. And he's like, I don't have anything for this. Like, I really have no idea. And then the other day he's like, all right, it's finished. I've got this because we've been in contact. And I kind of, I'm a little hands off. I know what's happening. I know the theme and stuff, but I don't really know what I'm going to get till I get it. It's kind of Christmas morning for me, just like you guys next week. And he sends me a download and I don't even, like, I can't even say it. I'll say it. Well, I should. There's 11 songs. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. It was awesome. It made me laugh because he's like, dude, 6 weeks ago, you know what? I got nothing. I can't figure it out. And then I get 11 fucking songs in the email, which cracked me up. So, and I've been doing my part in pulling and doing things you'll hear. So, I'm excited. The interlude is next week, Dave. And thank you for that, as always.
Tell them you're going to be on it because I want to make sure they listen.
Dave has this weird, he told me last night that I seem to distance myself from the interlude whenever it comes out, and I pretend that I don't like it, and I pretend that I'm not supposed to be on it.
No, not that you don't like it, that you're not on it.
He always says that I say, hey, next week, finally, you guys get a break from my voice. And I don't ever mean it like that. I mean that I'm just as excited to hear the music as you guys are. I mean, it's instinctually inside me to downplay my role in anything or to pretend that people don't enjoy what I do.
Yeah, but then the people that think I suck will go, I could skip next week then.
Okay. All right. Was that one of them? You suck. What if it just said you suck?
Yeah, I just got a text that you suck.
You suck.
See?
All right. It's word's already out there.
I'm going back upstairs.
So my point is, look, the interlude is special. It's and the thing is, because we put more music and Dave's been on the show more, he frets that he's like, well, it won't seem as special because he's been more of a presence this year. And I can see his thought process because he's just as fucking weird as me sometimes.
Especially because I was all over this episode.
Well, I tell him, oh my God, from top to bottom.
I didn't even know you were down here.
So I tell him, that's not the case, obviously. People love the music. They love the whole package. And honestly, more people should know what the fuck we do. I mean, the artwork, the music, and me talking, dude, I mean, we're fucking amazing.
Let people hear this.
Well, we try to. I mean, I wish more people could hear it, but I can't, and also maybe doing 3-hour and 20-minute shows doesn't get people on board.
Yeah, because even people that have turned it off already because they were like, I don't hear Dave.
Look, I got news for you. Not only did that happen, but people heard the first 5 minutes and went, oh, it's not interlude week? Click. Because they got no interest in fucking hearing my voice. Ha-ha, see how I do it? Aha, I spin it around. So next week's the interlude, man, and it's special, and it's great, and it's something that's amazing, of course. And I had a part in it, and I was able to go into themes, and regardless of whether he does all the music, but those songs are written about me, which makes me laugh my ass off every time it comes out. I hear it, and I go, this is literally like a concept album about me. And there's like 8 of them now. It's fucking hysterical.
This is the latest I ever started one.
Yeah, but you fucking delivered because I heard it in the car today and I was laughing my balls off. So, seriously.
50 instruments on it.
Did you play Roof of Mouth?
All right, 51.
So, that's going to be available next week. The interlude is fucking amazing. And then Year 9 starts the week after that.
Oh, boy.
I don't say that with any sort of like, because I earlier in the show, I think 10 years ago when I started this fucking show, and I mean this particular episode, I never ever thought that it would get here. And then if you see that Earbuds documentary, which I just found out is coming out June 4th, I literally didn't know if it was coming out. And in the beginning, in the first half of the show, I'm like, I'm just holding on until it's the death rattle until that fucking thing comes out. June 4th, it premieres at some San Francisco Film Festival. So part of me wants to go up for it. I mean, I don't know, just to get one kudo.
Huge in San Francisco there.
I'm already huge in San Francisco. I'm bad. I'm nationwide. But so that's going to premiere. So I guess that will kind of dovetail nicely into what is going to be Year 9, and people will get on board, I hope. But I truthfully, when I did start this in 2000 and whatever the fuck, like 2008, it's called The 40-Year-Old Boy because I used to make the joke that once I'm 50, this show is over. I mean, it's going to end with a gunshot. And then I felt high enough and strong enough, and with your guys' support, I'm like, I'm going to do this fucking show forever. Even in the Earbuds documentary, I go, I will never stop. I will do this show forever because it's the thing that I own. And I've got people who love me and want to hear from me, and they're friends more than fans. So I want to get out there and I want to talk, and I want to make sure they hear me all the time. And then you hit a passage where you just go, fuck, man, nobody wants to listen to me anymore. And I tried to get on a show and I didn't get on it. And then I recorded a show and it never saw the light of day. And do people like me or respect me? Does anybody even know what I'm doing? And am I just spinning my fucking wheels? But then I told you I'll get an email from somebody like John Freeman, who's like, man, I've seen you a million times and you're fantastic. And I get emails from people who go, thank you for the Prince show. I teared up listening to it. It made me happy. Dave's music was unbelievable. We do good work, man. We do fucking really great work. I mean, you know me, I think I'm the talent. I think I'm a fucking verbal badass and I'm just bringing it to you the way I want to do it. But add in the music and then add in the fucking artwork. And I think we have a fucking amazing package. I think it's, and I don't know if I'm talking myself into it or I'm talking you guys into it, but I have to say thanks. I mean, I just want to thank all of you for sticking in, and, it's been up and down. It's been back and forth, and you've heard great things and you've heard devastating things and you've heard things that have not been resolved yet, and you still stay. And you'll write me on Thursday or you'll write me on Friday and you'll say, hey, where's the show? Or you'll say, great show. Or you'll say, man, I'm with you. I've been here since the beginning. And even when I went to Minneapolis, people wrote me and they said, it'd be really nice to meet the guy who I've listened to for 8 years. And it's humbling and gratifying at the same time. It's astonishing that you would even stick around this long. And it's great that I'm still able to do it. So thank you. Next week's the interlude, which is going to be fucking incredible. And then the week after that, Year 9 is going to start. And you'll hear me say that again next week at the end of the interlude, just because I got to get my voice in there at some point. And thank you for sticking around. And thank you for making me think that this is worthwhile. And thank you for making me think that I could actually be something or somebody or the thing that I wanted to be. Even though I should be more, I should put more of an effort into it. I'm glad that you stuck around. And I'm glad you're still going to be here. And hopefully you'll stick around for Year 9 and Year 10 and Year 11 and Year 12. And holy fuck, if I'm in a Year 12, hang me. I mean, well, not really. I mean, it'll be great, I'm sure, right? Year 12, by that time we'll have robot cars and who knows what the fucking doing. I'll be working in a space colony on the moon bitching about the fact that I got a moon burn, and you guys will be like, oh my God, Schmidt got a moon burn. You know what? If anybody was going to get a moon burn, it was going to be fucking Mike Schmidt. I knew it in year 2 when he was talking about whatever nonsense, and he had that stripper fucking put whipped cream in his eyes. I knew then. I knew he got shaving cream in the face and he was going to wind up getting a moon burn at some point. I'm just happy I hung around as long as I could to hear Schmidt get a moon burn because I've been listening to the show as hard as I can. You want me to turn it up? Because I am doing this as hard as I possibly can. Fucking moon burn. You gotta be on board with that moon burn.
You know, Mex always says people skip the closing music. I say people love your closing music, so let's prove it to them. If you've listened this far, write me at heymexilistened@gmail.com and we'll send you a 40-year-old boy hearing commemorative Facebook profile picture that you better fucking put up, you dick. Sorry about the dick thing. Thing. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
I don't want you to miss any of that brilliance.